Hey,
Hey, we're live.
we're live?
Day 5. We are live for day 5 of NFL free agency. Harrison Graham, Chase Sr. And Chase, we said, you know what? It's day 5. We're going to do it big.
Yep.
We're live on 3 of our channels
Yes,
right
sir.
now. We're live on Chat Sports. We're live on Chicago Bears Now because the Larry Ogunjobi contract just fell through. And Chase said, hey, the Niners haven't done much this week, so I want to go live for the faithful and have that audience join us as well. We're back. We're better than ever. Lots of stuff to get into today.
It's day 5 of NFL free agency. Monday, we were live for like 8 hours on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. The following day on Tuesday, 6 hours, 4 hours, back-to-back days, and we decided to go live even earlier today. So much happening, and even with the San Francisco 49ers, they've been somewhat silent in NFL free agency up to this point, but they made a signing that I really liked last night. Ray McCloud, leading punt returner in the National Football League last year. Nice little gadget weapon for Kyle Shanahan in that offense. We're going to break that down as well.
Yeah, so we'll get to all that. And, of course, Deshaun Watson trade watch. That continues to be the top story in free agency. Let us know in the chat, what is your favorite signing so far? Bears fans, Byron Pringle after you lose Larry Ogunjobi. Niners fans, probably Charvarius Ward. Also for all of our NFL fans who are watching live here on YouTube, on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel, let us know what your favorite signing has been so far on that front as well. And yes, if we get super chats on all 3 of our channels, we will hit those because
Yes, sir.
producer Jack is built different and he will get them all on screen because he is a god. He says don't make promises, but I believe in you, Jack, so I am going to make promises. All right, let's see what people are saying here. Randy Gregory from Matthew. That's an interesting favorite signing. DeMarcus Lawrence, Mitch Trubisky, Allen Robinson, Davante Adams. Those are some of the people on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. Davante Baby on Bears Now. Chase, Bears fans are just happy Davante Adams is the hell out of the NFC North.
Hey, he's been wreaking havoc in that division for a really long time. One of the best wide receivers in the National Football League. I think you can make the argument that Davante Adams is weapon number 1. And what does this mean for Aaron Rodgers? I can't imagine that he re-signed with the Green Bay Packers knowing that Adams was going to get traded. But in terms of talking points and in terms of storylines, Davante Adams teaming back up with Derek Carr, Fresno State legends now in the desert with the Raiders. It's Liddy, and this NFL offseason has been wild. Want to give some shout-outs to those who are watching on the 49ers Report. It's been a little while since we went live because we've been pushing out so many videos breaking down all of the latest news and rumors, but shout-outs to the homies. New Money Beats, David Delgado, Matt Solomon, what it do, brother? Were you live with Mitchell Renz last night on the Raiders Report? I can only imagine. Historic night. Doug Carroll, JackTube JJJ, CLK Flow, Jose Santa Cruz, New Money Beats, ATG, and let's see, who else is coming in?
Very slight.
Eric Sully as well. Chase, a real one. You're a real one, my guy.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Sorry, having Jack direct some traffic here. Yeah, Bears fans, curious to see how they feel about this Larry Ogunjobi deal falling through. We'll break that down in further detail. Who's been the biggest winner in free agency, player or team? Let us know in the comments. The Raiders are in the conversation now, Chase, after
Yes,
getting
they are.
Davante Adams. Now, I would still argue they have the 4th best quarterback in that division in Derek Carr, but when you get him his boy from college, he's got Darren Waller, you got Hunter Renfrow, they could be a team. I think the Chargers are a team for sure. The Broncos obviously traded for Russell Wilson if you want to factor that in. A lot of teams have been very aggressive throughout free agency.
Yeah, and you take a look at what the Raiders have done really the last couple of days. Up until that point, they were somewhat silent, but they've been silent assassins the last 2 days. Chandler Jones, Rock Ya-Sin, Brandon Bolden, Jacob Johnson, Alex Bars, Matt Collins, and then the big splash, Davante Adams. They immediately become a winner in NFL free agency. Then you take a look at some other teams. Miami Dolphins come to mind. The Los Angeles Chargers. I actually think what the 49ers have done is fiscally smart. They focused in on areas of need, younger players who are merging, who have potential, and some of those contracts are very team-friendly with a lot of potential upside on the football field as well.
I also like what the Bears have done in the sense, Chase, that sure, this Larry Ogunjobi deal is a setback, but that money's going to free up, so now you got more money there. 3 years, $40.5 million was no cheap deal. Byron Pringle, smart, cheap signing. I think he's ready for a bigger role. We'll see what Equanimeous St. Brown brings to the table as a depth receiver.
For sure.
I like the Lucas Patrick signing. I think he'll start either at center or guard on this offensive line. So I think both of the teams that we cover primarily have been doing okay, although they've been fairly quiet. We'll see where the Bears pivot from here. Super chat from Daryl Anderson. Is this from our main channel here? This is from our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. Talk Raiders, baby, or QB rumors. Well, the Raiders are going to keep Derek Carr, so there you go on that front. QB rumors, we're on Deshaun Watson watch, and we'll ask you guys here in a minute where you guys think Deshaun Watson's going to end up going, so stay tuned for that. Another super chat from Roy. Stephon Gilmore close? If they get him.
If the Raiders get Stephon Gilmore, my goodness, I think they immediately vault to being the #1 winner in NFL free agency. I'm curious to see how much he gets paid. Charvarius Ward around $14 million. J.C. Jackson, first 2 years, $20 million per year. Carlton Davis, $16.5. So I want to see where he slots in. I think he can still play for sure coming off a Pro Bowl season.
Yeah, no doubt about that. We'll get to that super from Bears now in a moment. Here's our super chat menu. $5 will Bears cheers you. Once we get a $5, I'll have to get a beer from
Yingling,
somebody.
baby. Let's go.
I forgot to grab one, so that's an L on my part. $10, we'll talk about your favorite team, and this menu applies to our team channels as well. We'll kind of find a way to, make $10 be relevant to Bears now. Roulette wheel spin, $15. Chase has all the challenges ready to go. $25, we'll take a shot, and for $100, we're chugging 3 beers out of a boot. It's called Das Boot.
Niner gang.
Fill it up with 3 beers.
We got to do some shotguns together, man. It's been a little while. Our watch parties, our live shows have been litty. Now that we're live, let's party it up. I don't even care if it's before noon Central Time. Let's ride.
Yeah, I'm ready to take shots, Bears fans. So
I'm ready to crack this beer.
$25. Maybe we go 50% off at some points during the day. It is Friday after all.
Don't hate it.
We could work that in as well. Shout out your favorite team, rep your squad, and Bears fans, Niners fans, just spam the comments, Bears and Niners as well. Show out your squad. Drown out other fans that are watching on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel as we are simulcasting live. By the way, Chase, on our main channel, about 550 people live.
Yes, sir.
Got about 460 on Bears. Where are we sitting on Niners?
Right around 200 people.
We'll get that number.
Getting up early on the West Coast.
Yeah, it's still breakfast time over there, just about. So over 1,000 concurrent between the 3 channels, and that's what we do here at Chat Sports. Bear down from 1. A lot of Bears coming in, obviously, over there. We'll get some shout-outs on our main channel. Texans from Elijah. Cujo says Chargers. Jamal's a Falcons fan. He wants Deshaun Watson, I bet. Patriots from Lucas. Niners all day on our main channel. Head over to 49ers
49ers Report, youtube.com/49ers TV. You know, it's funny. I see Matthew Vega in the chat. He's like, it's almost 10 here, Chase, but we can drink mimosas. Hey, we can drink mimosas. You know what? I'm kind of disappointed in ourselves for not drinking mimosas today.
Just don't tell Coop because
I know he doesn't know what mimosas are.
No, he doesn't know how you can drink them at a tailgate. And I told him, you buy champagne, you buy orange juice, and you pour them in a glass.
How do you drink a keg at a tailgate?
It's really complicated.
You get a keg and you bring it to the tailgate.
It's really,
That's how.
Really complicated.
George Soares, Mike Honcho, I'm ready. Matt Solomon, JackTube, JJJ, I'm ready. Brand new. Matthew Vega. Appreciate all of you for rocking and rolling with us here on the 49ers Report as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Matthew Lane, from our Bears channel. Appreciate the super chat, Matthew. And all super chats get a shout out. And hey, we need to start a little competition between Bears and 49ers and super chats. And we'll have a little back and forth. Matthew, Bears signed Justin Jones from the Chargers. Thoughts? Well, my first thought is my charger for my laptop's in my backpack, and my laptop's about to die. So if someone could get that, Trace, Mitch, somebody, I'm going to need my charger.
I'll send it in
Justin Jones. Matthew, we're going to break down this Ogunjobi news and the Justin Jones signing here in a few minutes. Stay tuned for that. Everybody watching on YouTube right now, we will have you guys covered. So we will break all of that down. Another super chat from Jeffrey Ray. When and where is Jimmy going? This is for you, Chase.
Look, I think the teams that are in on Jimmy Garoppolo, it includes two right now. It's the Cleveland Browns and it's the Indianapolis Colts. I think one of those two destinations, that's where Jimmy Garoppolo is going to get traded. Now, there are a couple of extenuating circumstances, right? What's up with the shoulder injury? He's not going to be able to throw until about training camp. From the time he got the surgery last week, Ian Rappaport had reported about 4 months, 16 weeks. So a little bit of an issue there. And then the compensation is also something that we have to monitor. The 49ers, according to reports, they want 2 second-round picks. I don't think they can fetch 2 second-round picks. I do think they can get potentially 1 second-round pick. Now, that's been my stance all along. I think that maybe the shoulder injury has impacted things just a little bit, but we'll see. The 49ers, let's see how they play their cards in terms of Garoppolo's trade value and when he gets dealt and where he gets dealt.
Well, this is perfect timing, Chase, because Mitchell Renz, believe it or not, just handed me my laptop charger as I plug it in here. And
here he is.
Yes, he is alive.
The legend.
He is alive.
The legend is here.
He's made it. This man helped us make, $10,000 last night on the Raiders Report.
Davante Adams.
Daryl, you're the man. He's good enough here on a Friday.
How's Mitch doing? Good.
Yeah, he's very good. There's no doubt about it. Rich King with the super chat. Any Chiefs rumors? Brett Veach going to sign anyone? Listen. How about I could see the Chiefs being in on a Robert Woods trade.
Yeah.
That's the type of move I could see
Interesting.
Brett Veach making to get another receiver in there, because it sounds like he's a prime trade candidate according to Adam Schefter after they signed Allen Robinson.
Okay.
So
coming off the torn ACL, though.
Yeah.
Him and OBJ.
Yeah, or sign OBJ. That's another option. So you could go in one of those two spots. Don Burr, Detroit versus everybody. Can't even sign a guy correctly. Well, Don Burr, you're just one of those pests, aren't you? You're a resident Lions fan here on Bears Now. Listen, they signed the guy. He failed the physical, had the foot injury. It was worse than they thought, clearly. What would be worse, Don Burr, is just giving him that contract even with the failed physical. So, obviously, it's a setback for the Bears, but, these things happen, unfortunately, from time to time.
Popping over on the 49ers report as, man, there's just so much NFL news and rumors going on right now for day 5 of NFL free agency. I'm seeing Cam 49, Gold Rush 619, Foy Daniels, RJ Dub, Timothy Smith, all in the chat. A lot of you excited about that Ray McCloud signing last night. 2 years in the neighborhood of $10 million. I really like it as well. Myself, Harrison Graham, we're going to break down that Ray McCloud signing after the Larry Ogunjobi news, because that's a monster news item for the Chicago Bears. Failed physical, now not signing with Chicago. So a lot on tap on today's show, and of course, the latest Deshaun Watson news and rumors. And hey, I got an NCAA tournament screen to my left. We'll keep you up to date with everything going down with March Madness. No doubt about that.
You know who can't see that screen? Me.
Yeah,
so
it's a
tough one.
I got you covered, though.
Can we get a Deshaun Watson driver going here? Because I think that's what a lot of the people are tuned in for. We'll get to this super chat, then we'll get to that. Don Burr loves the Bears, bear down. I do think Don Burr's a closet Bears fan. He's our resident Lions fan on Bears Now, but he tunes in every single week. I tried to tell y'all that one wasn't completely made right, but guess that didn't get finished. Who will trade for Deshaun Watson? I do think we should get that one fixed, though, because that's a good one to go to later. Sounds like it's going to be the Saints or the Falcons, Chase. The Panthers were informed last night that they are out. Cleveland was informed yesterday afternoon that they are out.
Yep.
Who's it going to be? I think it's going to be Atlanta. I think that's where he wants to go.
I think it's going to be Atlanta. If I was him, I'd choose the New Orleans Saints. I think that team is really set up nicely to win on both sides of the ball. especially with Michael Thomas coming back, Alvin Kamara, Marquez Callaway, like that's a really legitimate lineup. Traquan Smith is very good too. They reacquired Mark Ingram. Of course, they're loaded defensively. Now, Dennis Allen being the head coach, has that played a role in Deshaun not wanting to go there, and instead, does he want to go to Atlanta? So he has that relationship with Arthur Blank. He was a ball boy for the Atlanta Falcons while growing up in the Atlanta area. Of course, went to Clemson for college, had a historic career there. Is an MVP type of player when he's on the field. And I think you're right, Harrison. I think he's going to go Atlanta Falcons. I don't necessarily agree with it because I'm not sure how set up they are to win right now, but maybe it seems as though that's the lean.
Maybe he's thinking, okay, this might be a transition year with the dead cap hit Matt Ryan will have.
Yeah.
No Calvin Ridley. But maybe he's thinking this is where I'll be for 10 years. And maybe part of the thing is, well, I might be suspended too for a chunk of this season.
Right.
This year doesn't really matter. It's more about 2023 and beyond.
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of the thought process from Deshaun Watson. And if that is the case, then I could certainly sort of understand that thought process. So where will he go? After this, we'll catch up on a couple Super Chats, and then we're going to break down the Larry Ogunjobi signing.
Yes, sir.
And in between cuts, we'll hit your questions, Super Chats, and then we got a lot of news to get to, so stick with us here. Type NO for the Saints, ATL for the Falcons. I'll get some shout-outs from our main channel, and then, we can get a few shout-outs on our team channels as well, because, Chase, this does impact the Bears and 49ers as this is an NFC team.
Look, yeah, wherever Deshaun Watson goes, you look at the Niners right now, they're coming off that NFC Championship game. They were a couple plays away from making it to their second Super Bowl in 3 years. I understand that there are some reservations about Trey Lance and him starting for San Francisco and him being young. A lot of people believe that the Niners aren't set up to make a deep playoff run again. I think they are, and I actually think the offense has more upside with Trey Lance under center in Kyle Shanahan's offense. He's not going to have to do all that much, and the pressure won't solely be on him because there are such good complementary pieces around Trey Lance, and he has a very good head coach calling the plays in his headset at all times. I'm fascinated to see how Kyle Shanahan develops Trey Lance, but in the way of San Francisco, if they want to make it back to the promised land, you might have to go through Deshaun Watson and the Atlanta Falcons. Or if he goes to the New Orleans Saints, you might have to beat them in the playoffs. That is a reality for both the Bears, the Niners, all teams across the NFL, especially in the NFC. It changes things.
Some rapid-fire shout-outs. Rebel says New Orleans. Nathan says ATL. Did Mitch survive the chip, Rashardly? Yes, he did. He just popped in here,
Barely.
actually. He's alive. He's alive. Nathan, ATL. Maddox, ATL. Jabari, New Orleans. Maddox says ATL. Hugh Green says ATL. Get a couple shout-outs on Bears. Someone says Giants are a sleeper. No, they're not. It's down to the Saints and the Falcons. Matthew says ATL. Caben, ATL. Miles, ATL. Let's see here. New Orleans from Skull, Vikings. Couple shout-outs on Niners, or
Of course, always. PK from the Bay, my guy. He's saying Trey area, baby. RJ Dub, New Money Beats. What it do, brother? Ronnie Baca, it's viral. RJ, let's see who else is rocking with the Niner gang. TV Guide, Jenny Silva, Brian Caminati, ATG Rock, Itchy, Gold Rush, George Shores. What it do, faithful? Let's go.
All right, let's rapid fire some Super Chats, and then we're going to get into this Larry Ogunjobi news. Freeman Weeks sends in $2. I appreciate that. James Jameson with the Super Chat coming up here. This one from Bears. What do the Bears do about their secondary free agency or draft? Well, all of a sudden, they just freed up some cash with no Larry Ogunjobi. So I think they've got more money to play with in free agency. We'll see what route they go again. We're going to get into some Bears news coming up. Josh, $5 Super Chat. I need a Coors Light if someone could bring me one. Mitchell Renz is going to help me out there. I appreciate that very, very much. Alan with the $2. Could the Broncos get Honey Badger? I don't know how much money they have to play with, but they could structure it like the Chiefs structured Justin Reed's contract, Chase, where they could just backload it. Justin Reed's cap hit in year one for the Chiefs is less than $5 million. So
yeah,
they could easily go get him if they want to.
Yeah, no, for sure. And look, there are still a lot of dominoes to fall, Harrison, in NFL free agency. And a little bit later on, we're also going to break down the top available free agents at a couple of different positions with a couple of really marquee names. So there are still a lot of moves to be made, and there could be a lot of movement today and in the days after today. So, a lot of stuff could still transpire with a lot of these teams across the league. They're going to be busy.
No doubt about it. Shout out to Rumble. We are also live on Rumble on all three of our channels. NFL Daily is where our main Chat Sports YouTube channel is simulcasting on Rumble as well, rumble.com/NFL Daily. More unfiltered access to our latest NFL coverage. If you want more Chicago Bears news and rumors, follow us on Rumble as well. Occasional exclusive content for you guys. Help us grow on our Rumble channel, rumble.com/Bears now, and then also the 49ers report, Chase.
Also on the 49ers report, earlier this week I was talking to the Niner gang about Rumble, and we literally had 69 subscribers the other day, and I was like, hey guys, look, while 69 is cool and all, Tom Downey would be proud, we have to pick up more subscribers. And the Niner gang was able to rally, and we got over 100. Let's continue to build upon that number. Exclusive content, news and rumors, and not everybody uses every single social media platform. Not everybody takes in their video content on the same platform. So we're going to the platforms that you as the people use. Rumble.com/49ers TV. Hit that green subscribe button. Therefore, you can continue to stay in the know with all things Niners.
A few more Super Chats. We'll get to those after this Ogunjobi news, so keep sending them in. We'll hit them, I promise. Bears, Niners fans, NFL fans. We'll get to all of those. Don't worry. But first, if you're having a good time, like the video. Chase, I got 65 likes on Bears now.
62.
That's a
Let's have a competition.
Hey, come on.
Let's go.
First to 100. Start. Go. 3, 2, 1. Let's get. I gotta beat the
100.
I gotta beat the Niners report in likes. I mean,
Yes.
come on.
Because we beat y'all on the field at Soldier earlier this year.
I know. Justin Fields had the highlight of his century,
Yep.
and then the game fell apart after that.
Yes.
All right, Bears hit 100. You there yet?
69.
No.
You hit 100 already? Wow.
Yeah, 125
Good for you.
now.
Niner gang. Come on.
On our main channel, we've got 157. Like the video, regardless of the stream. Our Chat Sports fans are awesome because they're locked in all week long. You guys keep supporting us by tuning in, and some of you go above and beyond by sending in donations. We don't take that lightly either. Like, we understand that that's y'all's hard-earned
For
cash.
real. No
Any donation we get, anything from $1 to $500 on the Raiders report. We value all of it.
You already know.
It's awesome. We value guys who don't or can't super chat,
Yes, sir.
but that's just bonus. You guys are the best. Like the video. Let's break down this unfortunate Chicago Bears news and what it could mean moving forward. You're watching Bears Now, simulcasting live on YouTube with NFL Daily. Harrison Graham, I got Chase Sr. riding shotgun with me today here on day 5 of NFL free agency. Kind of some unfortunate news to break down after a pretty fun night last night, breaking down the Byron Pringle and Equanimeous St. Brown signing. Well, the big signing, Chase, it has fallen through. Curious to get some of your thoughts as well as I break this down. The Bears are not signing defensive tackle Larry Ogunjobi because of a failed physical. He had that foot injury in the playoffs against the Raiders.
Yep.
I didn't think it was a major deal. I thought it was minor. I think the Bears probably thought that as well. That's why they gave him a nice 3-year, $40.5 million contract. That contract has fallen through due to a failed physical. I want to read this quote from Ryan Poles because he got emotional talking about it today, and then we can kind of chop it up back and forth. This is difficult, and it is emotional for everyone involved, but ultimately it's what is in the best interest of protecting the Chicago Bears. This is one of these tough NFL business things, but you have to respect the GM that understands, hey, I wanted this player. It sucks we have to back out of a contract. This is a first-year GM, though. Your first big move can't be bringing in a guy on a big contract if he may not be healthy enough to contribute at a high level.
You kind of alluded to it, but we're talking about a first-year general manager, 36 years old, in Ryan Poles, and he wants to impress the Bears fan base throughout this free agency period to let them know that the future is bright in Chicago because last couple of years it's been a struggle for Chicago, and there's been a lot of drama, and he's trying to eliminate that. So I'm actually impressed with how he's handling this. I thought you alluded to it. First-year general manager trying to make a splash. He's able to do that with Larry Ogunjobi, who at 27 years old is an emerging player, still young. I like the contract because I thought he was a great interior defensive lineman.
7 sacks last year.
And what does this mean for him? For Ryan Poles to have the temperature of the room and realize, okay, I want to impress Bears fans, but also at the same time, this guy's a great player, but if he's not healthy, that severely impacts us, and we're paying him a lot of money. We have to pivot off of this. What does this mean for Larry Ogunjobi? I'm not sure. Could a deal happen in the future down the road?
Maybe.
I think so, if they maybe tinker with that contract, but he's right. It's unfortunate for all parties.
I mean, look, the initial reaction is this sucks for several reasons, for a lot of the reasons Chase just mentioned. One, this was kind of the Bears' splash in that first wave of free agency. What's something we've talked about a lot here on Bears Now? Ryan Poles made it clear he's going to attack the second and third waves of free agency, which he's kind of started to do. Lucas Patrick, Byron Pringle, Equinemius St. Brown. Get some good value signings to not overpay. This was kind of his big fish and a guy that was going to fill a hole on a critical spot in this Matt Eberflus defense at that 3-technique defensive tackle spot. You're talking about a guy who had 7 sacks last year, 12 tackles for loss. This was going to be an impact guy on your defense. But when you kind of soak it up and get beyond the initial emotional reaction side of it, you say, okay, this general manager is level-headed.
Yeah.
Okay? He could have easily been like, yeah, you know, it'll be fine. By the time training camp gets here, the physical should check out. He didn't operate that way. He said, look, Larry, I'm sorry. We can't do this, man. Maybe we can circle back, but we got to back out of it. And, you know, it sucks. It sucks for Ogunjobi cashing in like that and obviously losing out on that contract. I wish him the best, whether it's with the Bears or someone else. But this is how you got to operate when you're running a business. You can't just, you know, you can't have the honor system always,
For
right?
sure,
Like,
yeah.
part of signing a contract is passing a physical. He didn't pass it. So now the Bears have to shift in a different direction. They've already signed one guy. We'll talk about some other moves they can make as well. What is your one-word reaction to Ogunjobi's deal falling through? I would say unfortunate, and I think that's a pretty good one, but we'll see how the Bears handle this moving forward. I think the initial response has been proper by Ryan Poles. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments section. Like we mentioned, Chase, I mean, this is a guy that really helped spearhead the Bengals to having a top defense last year. I mean, quietly, the Bengals were really good defensively. I know he got hurt early in the playoffs, but throughout the year, they were top 10, top 15. He was a big reason why. He was good with the Browns as well. This is obviously going to hurt for the Bears, but like we've mentioned with the contract, you free up that cap space now, and now the Bears can shift in a different direction. But for him, it's obviously very unfortunate.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, no doubt, as you talk about, but there could be another option out there. Star Lotulelei was just released by the Buffalo Bills. Similar type of player, can play D tackle, has great size, very good strength, but for Ogunjobi, an emerging player. That's why it's unfortunate for Chicago, because I love these types of signings where you're betting on some upside. You put him in this defense, and he makes everybody around him a lot better, the edge rushers as well as the linebackers, because you're able to generate that pass rush, and in turn, that helps out the secondary. But Ogunjobi, 1 sack his rookie year, followed by 5.5, 5.5, 2.5, 7 with the Browns. So you look at that upward trajectory, that's what he was on, and now with this foot injury, you hope for him it doesn't curtail that.
Yeah, now it's about shifting forward for Chicago. I want to explore Lotulelei here in a second. I do want to mention a signing that has taken place, though, which we'll get to in a second, but either way, this is why you subscribe to Chicago Bears Now, because whether it's good news or bad news, I'm not a fraud. I'm going to break it down regardless. You know, a lot of content creators out there, when it's unfortunate news or when their team loses a game, they don't do a post-game show. We don't do any of that stuff, whether it's good or bad. We're live breaking it down. That's what we do. That's our promise to you. We break down every significant story that's out there and hit you guys with the latest Bears news and rumors as well. So subscribe, support the channel. It would really, really help. We're closing in on 45,000 subscribers. Now, a guy has been brought in, Chase. Justin Jones, 2-year contract as he comes over after a stint with the Los Angeles Chargers. I would imagine this is a pretty cheap deal. Maybe he starts as like a stopgap guy. We'll see, because the Bears are thin at defensive tackle. They cut Eddie Goldman. Akeem Hicks is out there. I mean, you could bring him back. I kind of doubt it, though. Had 3 sacks last year as an interior guy, though, with the Chargers. I mean, as a stopgap option, you could do worse. Maybe you bring him in, draft a defensive tackle on day 2. That could be an option for Chicago.
No, it could, and he's got great size, 6'3", 309 pounds. 37 tackles is no joke for a rotational defensive lineman. And I think throughout the course of a 17-game regular season schedule, we see this with the San Francisco 49ers, and that's a big reason why they were able to turn things around after a 3-5 start last year and make it to the NFC title game, If you're able to have defensive line depth and rotate in edge rushers and defensive tackles consistently, it keeps everybody fresh throughout the entire season. And the development that's taken place with San Francisco is something that the Bears should strive for, because they've done a great job of making signings like this or drafting guys in the later rounds and developing them into very good players like a DJ Jones. Justin Jones, we'll see if he can be that type of guy.
Yeah, and look, Justin Jones, you lose Bilal Nichols. The numbers are pretty similar.
Yeah.
This could just be your Bilal Nichols replacement. Get another D-tack in here. And sure, you may not have the impact of Larry Ogunjobi, but with the edge rushers of Robert Quinn, Trevis Gibson, who had 7 sacks last year, you might be okay still at that spot, and maybe you just allocate that money elsewhere. Another piece on offense. Maybe you go get Teron Armstead with some of that money that you lost in the Ogunjobi signing. Still some different directions you can go if you're Chicago. We'll explore a couple other defensive tackles, but first, want to mention that we are streaming this live on Rumble. All of our videos are going up over there as well, plus some occasional exclusive content from me that you can only find on our Rumble channel. So go check that out, rumble.com/BearsNow. We're not taking anything away from what we're doing on YouTube. We're just branching out and adding more content for you guys. It's a win-win. The app is free. Go download it, pull it up on your browser, rumble.com/BearsNow. Hit that follow button. Let's get more followers over there. I do wonder, Chase, if at least the thought has entered the brain of Ryan Poles of bringing back Akeem Hicks. Now, he's had injury issues of his own.
Yes.
But when he's healthy, he's still really productive. 3.5 sacks in 9 games last year, and he left 2 or 3 of those early with injuries. He still gets pretty consistent pressure as a pass rusher. Now, he's not really a 3-tech. He could be kind of that heavier defensive tackle if you want to go that route. You have Kyrus Tonga, who flashed a bit as a rookie last year as a late draft pick that Ryan Pace made a year ago. But could you bring back Hicks on a 1-year deal? Say, hey, I know you've loved your time in Chicago. I know the last regime kind of wore you out at the end, but if you really love the Bears, you love Chicago, you want to come back for 1 more year, and if you can have a healthy season, maybe you get a 2 or 3 year deal to finish out your career elsewhere. It's just a thought. I don't really anticipate it, but you got to wonder if bringing in a guy like him could be a possibility. And then Star Lotatelli, like you just mentioned as well, just got released by Buffalo. So there's still guys out there if Chicago wants to help bolster this defensive line.
Yeah, when Chicago acquired Akeem Hicks, when he was with the New England Patriots and the New Orleans Saints, he's was one of those, emerging players. And what an acquisition it was for Chicago.
Right,
from 2016
maybe
to 2018.
Ryan Pace's best deal, honestly.
Oh, for
one
sure.
Of the best.
From 2016 to 2018, he had 23 sacks. And that's really impressive considering he plays defensive tackle, and guys don't often rack up sacks at that defensive tackle spot. Those numbers were better than a player like Fletcher Cox.
Yep.
Right on par with some of the best defensive tackles in the game. The only problem is he really hasn't been elite since 2018, and now he's 32 years old. The injuries are starting to pile up. If you can get him back for, let's say, $3 to $5 million, is that something that you would explore?
Yeah,
maybe?
1 year, $5 million.
Yeah.
I would do that. Look, when he's healthy, he's productive.
He's
the problem
very good.
is he's missed 20 games in the past 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that's tough. That's tough. So, maybe an incentive-laden contract. If he reaches certain thresholds, he can double his deal. I think something like that could at least be a possibility. That's, of course, assuming he would even be open to coming back to Chicago.
Right.
He kind of signaled that he was moving on after the season, but things change, as you guys know. Should the Bears bring back Akeem Hicks? Type Y for yes. Type in for no. You can also name a player in the comments you would like to see the Bears sign now that this Ogunjobi contract has fallen through. We are the channel for you for all things Chicago Bears, youtube.com/BearsNow. Get some shout-outs here, and appreciate everybody rocking and rolling with us here. We bring you guys everything happening throughout NFL free agency. We're not going anywhere as far as Deshaun Watson trade watch goes, so don't worry about that. We're going to catch you guys up on some 49ers news and rumors coming up here in just a moment, including the Ray McLoud signing. I'll get a couple of shout-outs on this on Bears, Chase, and then we can move on to something else.
Do your thing, brother.
Armart says yes.
Next.
King says no. Hashtag fire polls. Come on, man. That's just that.
Already, huh?
Could you handle this? This is about as good as you could handle a situation like this.
Yeah.
Look, they agreed to a contract. The guy comes in for his physical. He doesn't pass. I mean, what do you want the guy to do? It's one of those tricky deals. Corey says yes. Matthew says no. Mark says yes. Robert says yes. Bring back Hicks. hey, he loved being in Chicago. I do know, I'm pretty confident that the old coaching staff wore Hicks out late last year, but they're gone.
They're gone. It's a new regime.
It's a new regime. So
and defensive-minded head coach, too.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So is this a new deal that came in? Jawan Bentley back with the Patriots. Producer Jack, he's fired up about this one. They did something, he says. I don't have a lot of thoughts on that. Contract details to be announced.
Yeah.
We'll catch you guys up on some super chats here. Then we're going to get into the latest 49ers news and rumors, including the signing of Ray McCloud. Which, quick thoughts on that, by the way?
I love the signing of Ray McCloud. We'll talk about it here in just a little while. We've seen a trend for San Francisco. Yes, they've lost some of their own players. A big reason for that, their development of those players. So they're replacing them with some good depth pieces and bringing in young players on affordable contracts who can really play. I think Ray McCloud is a part of that equation, and I like what San Francisco has done. Do we all want them to be a little bit more busy? For sure, but there are still a lot of moves left to be made, and once the Deshaun Watson domino falls, I think that leads to a Jimmy Garoppolo trade. So we'll break down this Ray McCloud signing with the San Francisco 49ers here in just a few moments. Want to give some shout-outs to those watching on the 49ers Report as we are simulcasting on 3 different channels. Bears Now, Main Chat Sports YouTube channel, and the San Francisco 49ers Report. Take the yellow pill. Shout out to you, Cam49, Patrick is also in the chat. Niners Visuals. I see Nicole and Harold Gillenwater. What's going on? Loyal subscriber. Rich Hidalgo. Thanks to all of you for tuning into the 49ers Report. We'll talk Niners here momentarily.
Let's do some rapid-fire super chats. I assume this is on our main channel. Will the Bengals sign anyone today? Well, Lyle Collins set to visit Chase. That would be a big deal for them. And I just saw another one on my feed earlier. Jaron Reed, Chiefs defensive tackle, former Seahawks, set to visit. That could be their Larry Ogunjobi replacement.
Yeah.
Or do they circle back to Ogunjobi? Maybe a one-year deal, prove you can get healthy type of deal, and then Ogunjobi hits the open market next year. That could be a possibility. So we'll see on that front. Dinesh is back. He's been with us all week long.
Dinesh.
Can I get your job? Wake up, talk football, drink beer, get paid for it, the life you live. I will say this, and this isn't to toot our own horns, but I will a little bit here. Like, don't get it wrong. Like, what you see is just seems like just raw entertainment, YOLO kind of job stuff that we
grind,
do.
Dude.
The amount of hours we put in and the amount of work before getting this job all of us at Chat Sports had to do to even be qualified for it, we didn't get here by accident, is basically what I'm saying.
And we haven't grown by accident like we have.
And don't get us wrong. We have fun.
We have fun.
Don't get me wrong. And I understand that aspect of it. But, what we're doing here, it's not a fluke. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of grinding. And that's why we're to the level we're at and why we almost have 1 million combined subscribers on all of our channels, including almost 300,000 on main. That's what we do. So, appreciate it, though. Appreciate the $5.
Yes,
Caben Rudd, what do you think we will do for 50? What is that? Strong safety. Sorry, I was reading that as
from Caben.
Good question. Eddie Jackson had some money become guaranteed today, Chase. So that signals he will be on this team this year. I think he'll be your free safety. I don't know. Do you replace the Ogunjobi contract with Tyrann Mathieu now? Give him the same deal, and you add a piece on the back end instead? You could go that route.
Yeah.
That would be intriguing to me. There's been some chatter with the Ryan Poles connection that they could bring in Mathieu.
Yeah. Look, does he fit the Bears' timeline, though? That's the thing.
He's 29.
He's 29 years old.
2-year deal?
2-year deal, short-term deal.
$26 million?
I think if he goes to Chicago, that's for the money. I don't know if he fits, and I think he hops on board a Super Bowl title contender, and I don't think the Bears are just quite at that level yet to persuade him to come to Chicago.
He could be part of the transition of this new era of Bears football.
And as a leader,
the pitch to him could be hey, we know what you bring to the table as a leadership. Hey, we're instilling this culture here.
Yeah.
You can spearhead that.
Right.
That could be intriguing, especially if they're paying good money, too.
Yeah.
Owen Spencer, appreciate the $5. All super chats get on screen, even if they don't have questions. Freeman Weeks, who can we get with the money we save from Larry? We kind of just spitballed. Do you go after and get another receiver, JuJu Smith-Schuster, Julio Jones? I mean, you could go that route.
Yeah.
Julio's a bit older. I don't know if he really fits the timeline, like Chase said. Teron Armstead watch, Eric Fisher watch. I think once Deshaun Watson gets traded, some of those offensive line dominoes could fall. So stay tuned for that as well. All right, shout out your favorite team, and then we're going to go into some 49ers stuff here. I think we're caught up on Super Chat, so appreciate all of that. We've got over, let's see, almost 1,300 live on our main Chat Sports channel, about 800 live on Bears Now. I got several hundred live on 49ers Report as well. Get the chat flowing. Shout out your favorite team. In the comments, obviously, if you're watching on Bears and Niners, you can just spam Bears or 49ers. Give a few shout-outs here, and then Chase is ready to go with the latest 49ers news. For Vroken says Cowboys, Boom says Jets. We got Winter saying Dolphins, Bears. Brian on our main channel. Go to our Bears stream, youtube.com/BearsNow. Chief from the 2 Killer Queen, Cowgirls, Chiefs, Falcons. A lot of people in the live chat. Appreciate you guys for rocking and rolling.
That's fine, Jack.
With us.
Just go straight off the top.
Skull Vikings in there as well.
This was
Cowboys
designed
from Roger.
for one man.
So here we go. We're going to break down everything going on.
I can host this piece, and
just I'll bounce off whatever you want to do. So
both
we're going to break
chefs will
down
be in the kitchen cooking.
Yeah, the cooking, the kitchen, the grill. It's about 500 degrees.
You already know. Welcome into the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. He is Harrison Graham, simulcasting on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel as well, getting you caught up with everything that San Francisco has done so far in NFL free agency, including a deal that happened late last night. 49ers have signed punt returner, kick returner, gadget guy, wide receiver Ray McCloud, formerly of the Pittsburgh Steelers, to a 2-year deal. We'll break that down here in just a few moments. But first, I want all of the Niner fans to get into the comment section right now and grade the signing for me. A, B, C, D, or F. Harrison, your quick takeaways about San Francisco signing Ray McCloud. I think he could really help in this offense and boost the special teams unit, which last year was 26th in the NFL.
This feels like a Shanahan, like, oh, I could maximize this guy, right? He's electric in space, jet sweeps, return guy, drag routes. I'm excited to see what Kyle Shanahan can do with this guy in this offense. I like this move by San Francisco quite a bit. And by the way, I think it's 2 years, $10 million. Have we gotten those details?
It's about 2 years, $10 million. Yeah, we'll break that down here in just a sec.
It's a 2-year deal for Ray McCloud. But those are my initial takeaways. I think he's a guy that Kyle Shanahan feels like he can max out, and I'm excited to see what his role is in this offense.
Yeah, so you take a look at Ray McCloud, played with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and really emerged the last couple of years as a very good punt returner and kick returner. He's actually the leading punt returner in the NFL from a year ago. You take a look at his return numbers for Pittsburgh. He was fantastic last year. These numbers from 2021, 38 punt returns, average yards per punt return, Harrison, just shy of 10, first in the National Football League, 35 kick returns, average yards per kick return of north of 22, which is a really good number. League average about 18 to 20, but that's not all that he can do. He can also thrive and flourish as a wide receiver, and he goes from a stagnant, really methodical offense with the Pittsburgh Steelers, with the quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger, who was washed last year, to an offensive mastermind, an offensive genius in Kyle Shanahan, one of the best young coaches in the NFL. And I think Ray McCloud sees his potential in this offense as being astronomical. Now, you take a look at the receiving numbers last year. They were lower, but I expect them to maybe increase this year, and he can do more for San Francisco than just return punts and kicks. 66 targets, 39 receptions, 277 yards, average yards per catch of 7.1. But I'm really intrigued by this Ray McCloud signing for San Francisco for a couple of reasons. I'm intrigued by Ray McCloud because I think he adds a really good element for one of the worst special teams units last year in the NFL, as San Francisco was sitting around 26. He can certainly add a spark there. But in Kyle Shanahan's offense, I think that he sees that he can be a great fit and be more of a contributor than he's been in years past with the Pittsburgh Steelers because of Kyle Shanahan's creativity with calling plays to put the ball in the hands of Ray McCloud on bubble screens, on jet sweeps, on crossing routes. So for that reason, I think this is a potential high upgrade signing for San Francisco on special teams. Then he can add a spark on the offensive side of the football as well and be that gadget guy in this offense that San Francisco hasn't really had. And if you want to send him down the seam as a slot wide receiver, you can do that. If you want to put him out wide, he can really stretch the field vertically. I think on a 2-year, $10 million deal for San Francisco, this could end up being a steal. That's why I'm intrigued by the idea. Now, are you a fan of the Ray McCloud signing for the 49ers? If so, hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. Show up, show out, and let us know if you get down with Ray. And also, while you're down there, make sure you subscribe to the San Francisco 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Jay Sr. Been pushing out multiple videos per day all throughout NFL free agency, and this is what we do because we give you free daily news and rumors videos 7 days a week, red and gold till we're dead and cold.
Can I get one more thought on this McLoud
Go
signing?
ahead.
All
brother.
week long, you had been saying, man, I'd like to get a guy like Jakeem Grant in
Yep.
here. This is kind of that, right?
Yep.
Like, elite return specialist, a guy who probably 2 to 3 games this year, he'll make a game-changing play on offense.
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to be a guy that every game has an impact offensively, but there will be a couple times this upcoming year where you're like, man, dude, that play Ray McCloud, that changed the game. Like, he's that type of guy because he's that explosive, and that's really what you're looking for with this type of player. Like, this isn't going to be a guy that catches 80 passes by any means, but can he impact 2, 3, 4 games, be a good return specialist for you? That's kind of what you're bringing on board in Ray McCloud.
With what the Niners have done up until this point in NFL free agency, they've been somewhat silent, and they've made medium-level splash signings, but I actually like what they've done. Look, this is a team that made it into the Final Four last year. They were a couple plays away from making it to their second Super Bowl in 3 years. It's not like they're undergoing a roster rebuild and they have to completely overhaul this roster.
No.
Yes, they've let some players go, but that speaks to the development that the 49ers coaching staff has been able to bring the best out of these players, and they set themselves up nicely where they thrive and play really well for San Francisco. Then they get paid elsewhere. They really play themselves out of affordability for San Francisco. But why do I like what the Niners have done so far? Young signings, and I think all of these players are emerging and can become very good players. Charvarius Ward is only 25 years old. Hassan Ridgeway, as a rotational defensive tackle, as your DJ Jones replacement, is 27 years old. Ray McCloud, I think his best football is ahead of him at age 25, and then Oren Burks at age 26. So not only from an age perspective are the Niners bringing in young players and not old, injury-prone wash players, they're also putting a focus on special teams, which last year was one of the worst in the NFL in coverage and in terms of returns. So the 49ers really prioritizing all of those aspects throughout this NFL offseason period, and I think that the Niners have some moves to be made in the future as well. These are young, affordable players with upside. The Niners have been fiscally smart with a lot of these contracts, and for that reason, I like what they've done, and I still think that once the Jimmy Garoppolo trade happens, that sets the foundation for everything else to ensue during the offseason for the Niners. Now, the NCAA tournament is in full swing. We here at Chat Sports have been watching these games, while grinding, talking about the latest NFL news and rumors. And if you want to lay down some bets for the NCAA tournament, you can do so. A couple of brackets already busted, like how about Kentucky going down to St. Peter's last night? Chatsports.com/49bet. Enter the promo code Niners125 for a 125% deposit bonus.
Now, Doug Key had added this as well. This is pretty interesting, Chase. The Bears, 49ers, Colts, Texans, Patriots, and Raiders are among the teams who have reached out on available outside receivers. Obviously, the Raiders got Davante Adams, so they're probably out on this. But have yet to make a splash. Eagles are expected to be involved. So if you're San Francisco, who fills that void if you're thinking about outside receivers that could be out there?
Well, the only receivers currently signed for next year for San Francisco, Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. Now Ray McCloud enters the mix. Now, there have been a lot of rumblings over the last couple of weeks about the Niners' reported interest in JuJu Smith-Schuster. He could play slot receiver in this offense. Ray McCloud comes in from time to time as that aforementioned gadget guy. So JuJu Smith-Schuster is a name to watch for the Niners. So too is Will Fuller, but I think he's way too injury prone. Do I like his game as a guy who can get up and down the field with some elite speed and take the top off of the defense? For sure. Jarvis Landry, another one of those JuJu Smith slot receiver prototypes who got released by Cleveland. I think you can keep your eyes on him as well. He was working out with Deebo Samuel this week. Emmanuel Sanders, a former Niner who really played well for the Niners during that 2019 Super Bowl run, is on the open market. So too is Jamison Crowder. Now, if the Niners do make a signing, we have you covered right here on the 49ers Report by Chat Sports as we continue to grow and really just cater to our audience, which is the faithful and pushing out free daily videos covering all things with the Niners all year round. YouTube.com/49erstv or hit that big subscribe button down below. And before we hop on out of here for this segment, we talk about JuJu, we talk about Jarvis Landry, maybe a reunion with Emmanuel Sanders. Which free agent wide receiver do you want the 49ers to sign? Because I think there is a move left there. Let us know in the comment section right now. All right, give some shout-outs to those watching on the 49ers Report really quickly. New Money Beats, Christ Soldier, Nathan Bolden, Rich Hidalgo, Emmanuel Sanders, too old, like a used girlfriend from Christ. That's funny. Let's see, Superior Hands, also in the chat. Why don't you give some shout-outs to those watching on Chicago Bears Now, Harrison?
Yo, we just don't have a login? We're just cooked? Oh, thank God. Can't be doing PJ again.
No.
Bears fans, you can shout out a receiver too because you would like to have a receiver as well. Someone says, I don't know what you guys are saying. Guys are wondering, well, here's the deal. We're simulcasting on multiple channels, guys, so it can't be Bears content 100% of the time. Just like Niners fans, it can't be Niners 100% of the time. We want to allocate resources, go live on multiple channels.
These
here.
moves impact these teams.
Yeah, and these moves all impact
talking football,
all
baby.
these teams. Talking some ball. If you don't want to enjoy free agency, then I don't know what to tell you on that front. Randall says Armstead is someone he wants to sign. DK Metcalf for the Bears. That would be incredible.
Wow.
If the Bears traded for
him.
He fits.
What do you think it would cost?
He fits perfectly for Justin Fields as a deep threat.
I agree. Do you think like the Eagles could trade away 15 for him?
That's probably about the value.
One first-round pick, or are we talking more?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, coming off a down year.
He's only got 1 year left on his rookie deal. That you have to factor that in as well.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to pay him if you trade for him. Like if you're the Bears, 39 and 48, would you trade both of those for DK?
I would.
I probably would, man.
Because you know what it does? Gives your young quarterback a really legitimate weapon, a building
Metcalf,
block for your
Mooney,
offense.
and Pringle as a Tringle is pretty damn solid,
especially
dude.
the combination of size and skill.
They're all fast. Yeah. Man. Now, obviously, you'd have to handle O-line, but maybe in that case you sign Armstead or Eric Fisher, use your third-round pick on an offensive lineman. You know, it's I wouldn't love trading both my second-round picks since I don't have a first if I'm Chicago, but that would be intriguing. We're also live on Rumble. Appreciate everybody tuning in, both on YouTube and on Rumble. We partnered with Rumble about a month ago, and they're a video content creator just like YouTube. Sports, politics, news, business, tech. You can find a ton of stuff over there, including our content here at Chat Sports. Rumble.com/NFL Daily is where you can catch up on our latest NFL news and rumors, plus some occasional Rumble After Hours content, bonus content for you Chat Sports fans. Go check us out. Give us a follow. We're closing in on 1,000 followers on Rumble. MGM Productions with a $2 super chat. Plan at safety for the Niners. Tart not returning. Chase?
Yeah, I wouldn't rule out a Jaquiski Tart return to the Bay. I thought he played the best football of his career last year. That back-breaking interception in the NFC Championship game, look, I know that was a heartbreaker, and he should have made the play. And if he makes the play, do the Niners end up winning that game? Potentially, because the momentum flips there, and you get the ball back in really good field position at the end of that game. But there were other things that happened in that game that led to the Niners losing. I think Tart coming back for affordable price, I think that'd be a good move for the Niners. You bring somebody back who has familiarity in the defense, coming off the best year of his career, and he's not going to get big money like a Tyrann Mathieu, like a Justin Reed, like a Marcus Williams. And because of that, I think you've seen his market get impacted a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that. Bears also could use a safety. Jaquiski Tart to the Bears. People were talking.
Hey.
I would not completely hate that. Producer Jack's got some stuff going on, so we can we'll keep it moving here in just a second. What are you guys saying here? Let's see. Yada, yada, yada. OBJ to the Steelers. Yeah, we hit that one already, Jack. Let's go to the next one. What are the Colts going to do? Chase, what are the Colts going to do?
They need to get a quarterback. How about the Colts hit up the 49ers and they're like, hey, we'll give you a second-round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's ride. We have a roster that can compete right now. Trade for Jimmy G. Again, it's the Deshaun Watson thing has to happen for the rest of the quarterback market to play out. He goes to Atlanta. the Falcons are going to trade Matt Ryan. Which team is going to be interested in Matt Ryan? How does that impact the Jimmy Garoppolo market? All of these things have to fall in line
Baker
first.
Mayfield, where does he end up?
Deshaun, make your decision.
Yes, please.
Please.
It impacts all of these teams.
Yes.
Ethan with the super chat. Let's push this next one across here. Ethan, please ban super hand.
Order no longer available, by the way.
I don't know what this means. Yeah, it disappeared on us. Daryl Anderson, $5. Raiders just win, baby. What about OT help for the Raiders? And who is the best option in Gilmore to the Raiders? Obviously, if they get Gilmore Chase, that's a game changer.
It'd be a huge game changer. Stephon Gilmore can still play. A little bit older. I think on a short-term deal, let's say 3 years, worth around $10 million per, that would be about my threshold for what I'd want to offer him. Do I think he gets more? Yeah, I think that's a possibility.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hello, Moto. Chase, the Niners should get Jimmy Graham. No, they should not. You know about that,
He's washed.
Yeah, he's washed.
He should retire. But, hey, some team might get him a one-year deal. You never know. Let's go to Josh Roberts here. This one from Bears Now. And I'm seeing some stuff like, hey, I'm going to unsubscribe if it's not Bears-centric. Guys, this is a bonus live I'm doing for you guys. Do what you want, but Chase and I are grinding up here. We have other duties beyond just the teams we cover, believe it or not. We're grinding for the Bears. He's grinding for the 49ers. Yep. Believe me, we're talking about the Bears, the Niners, and all this stuff we're talking about impacts those two teams. So, hang with us here. All the talk about Armstead recently, isn't he the OL version of Hicks? Can be great when on the field, but not getting any younger. Bear down. First of all, get the bear downs flowing in the comments on Bears Now. Look, yeah, he has an injury history. We've outlined that. Over the last 8 years, he averages 11 games played per season. He misses games. It's a risk. There's no doubt. He's really good when he's elite. I would argue he's all pro level, but he misses time. So that's the risk, Josh. There's no doubt. AF Baltimore, who do the Falcons sign to build around Watson? I think if they get Watson, Jarvis Landry signs immediately.
Yeah. I think that's for Jarvis, and he's been working out with Deebo Samuel this week, by the way. Not saying that the Niners are going to sign him now, but that's of note. Jarvis Landry, he had a disastrous experience this past year with Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns. We saw what happened with OBJ when he left Cleveland. He played so well for the Rams. Jarvis is probably hoping that same scenario can help really lift him out of this slump that he was in this past year. He suffered that injury, which I think impacted his game a little bit. But Deshaun goes to Atlanta. I think you'll see not just Jarvis Landry go there as well. I think more players will go there because they're like, yo, you just acquired one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Speaking of which, who will trade for Deshaun Watson? If you think it's going to be the Saints, let us know. If you think it's going to be the Falcons, let us know. We're going to get you caught up on the latest around Deshaun Watson. And by the way, this impacts the Bears and 49ers directly. The Bears, how does it impact them? Well, Teron Armstead, if Watson chooses Atlanta, becomes really pretty much available at that point. I don't think he'll re-sign with the Saints if Watson doesn't go to New Orleans. I think he's a guy the Bears would have interest in, so that's direct impact. And just beyond that, Chase, it impacts the NFC where he goes.
Massively.
So there's no doubt about that. So continue to get your votes in. We're going to get you guys caught up on the latest around Watson as the New Orleans Saints are certainly making a strong pursuit. So stay tuned for that here live as we simulcast on Chat Sports, the 49ers Report, and on Chicago Bears Now. Who Dat Nation, for Saints fans watching today, go subscribe as we cover this Deshaun Watson trade tracker, if you will, throughout NFL free agency. I know there's Saints fans watching right now. YouTube.com/Saints today. Turn on that notification bell. We will have you guys covered here at Chat Sports, regardless of what happens with Deshaun Watson. He's Chase Sr., I'm Harrison Graham. The New Orleans Saints continue to wait to see what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson, and they'd like to know sooner or later, Chase. And so would we, because this impacts a lot of teams in the NFL. We'll get you caught up on the latest and what it's looking like for New Orleans. Here's coming in from Dov here. Texans reporter John McClain said it would be shocking if Watson doesn't pick the Falcons over the Saints. So Saints might be second in the pecking order now, Chase.
How about Atlanta swooping in, no pun intended, at the last minute and having that relationship between Deshaun Watson and Arthur Blank possibly being really the deciding factor in Deshaun Watson going to Atlanta to beat out the rival New Orleans Saints? This quarterback drama, this quarterback movement this offseason, and all of the Deshaun Watson buzz has been crazy. It looked as though the Panthers were the leaders in the clubhouse. The Browns entered the fold. The New Orleans Saints at one point seemed to be the favorites. And now it's the Atlanta Falcons. If I'm Deshaun Watson, Harrison, I'm not going to Atlanta, even if I have that relationship with Arthur Blank. I'm going to New Orleans, where that roster is loaded and littered with some great offensive talent. Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, Marquez Callaway, Mark Ingram, a good offensive line. We'll see what happens with Armstead. That defense is spectacular, even with the loss of Marcus Williams. Maybe it's Dennis Allen being a defensive-minded head coach as the big reason why Deshaun isn't going to New Orleans, but I think that's the best fit for him. We'll see what happens.
Here's more from Aaron Wilson. Deshaun Watson currently expected to take the next few days, this is from last night, and contemplate his decision over the weekend per league sources. I wish he'd decide today over which team he'll waive his no-trade clause for. Falcons have pushed back Matt Ryan's $7.5 million roster bonus from Friday to Tuesday. So from an Atlanta side of things, Chase, they're buying themselves time. And look, it clearly seems that Matt Ryan is okay with this. And if they don't get him, then he'll remain in Atlanta. That's very mature of him. He does not have to go that route, as Schefter added that note as well. What it also allows him to do is if he wants to pursue a trade, it buys him a few more days to do that before that bonus kicks in. So we'll see what happens on Atlanta's side of things as well. Now, the Saints, I think, Chase, early on were considered the favorites. They were, rumored to be making a, quote, full-court press. They met with him twice. They've been pursuing him for a long time, according to reports. And now it seems to have maybe shifted into Atlanta's favor. We do know it's down to these two NFC South teams. And
this is going to add to the rivalry between the Atlanta Falcons and the Saints, right? I mean, interdivision squads now battling it out for one of the best and most gifted quarterbacks in the National Football League. And as it pertains to Deshaun Watson, this domino has to fall for New Orleans, because if they don't land Deshaun Watson, what is their plan B? What is their next step? They've been pretty quiet in NFL free agency up to this point. They lost Marcus Williams. They've made some signings on the peripheries of their roster and some minor moves, but they have to figure out what happens with Deshaun Watson to really set the foundation for what else they're going to do in free agency. Now, I don't think they have to be incredibly busy because, as I talked about earlier, a lot of really intriguing pieces on this team, but the dominoes will certainly start to fall for New Orleans after the Deshaun Watson trade goes down. So if you're a Saints fan watching, first of all, subscribe by using that link down below. But if you're frustrated with the silency for New Orleans up to this point, just know it's going to start to get active, not just for New Orleans, not just for the Atlanta Falcons, but all 32 teams in the National Football League following the Deshaun Watson trade going down.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. So, assuming these are the two teams, where will he go? I think it's going to be Atlanta.
I know
Saints fans don't want to hear that, but I think he's enamored with the idea of playing for the franchise where he was a ball boy as a kid. I mean, that's a personal connection to that franchise. Type ATL for the Falcons, type NO for the New Orleans Saints. We'll find out sometime in the next 24, 48, 72 hours, and we'll have you guys covered regardless of what that ends up being. Now, there is more to consider here. Sounds like Watson would like to adjust his contract, and quite frankly, with both these teams, Chase, and where they are, they've certainly been making moves to clear cap. He probably would have to just get a signing bonus and push back some of that money on the cap hit down the road, because with Atlanta's dead cap money they're going to have for Matt Ryan, they're just going to have to clear out some money, and just restructuring Deshaun would make sense. The Saints have obviously been manipulating the cap for years, so they can figure that out. So that would also come into play in here as well. And we know the Saints are cap gurus.
Yeah, Saints are just cap gurus. I mean, they have proven that the NFL salary cap ain't a thing, and they've proven that you can manipulate it and pull off salary cap gymnastics in order to build out a roster with some really good pieces and be financially smart in doing so. As far as Deshaun Watson's contract right now, $35 million in base salary for 2022 with the cap hit of $40 million. In 2023, the base salary lowers, but the cap hit goes up to $42 million. There is a potential out, 2024, which if this doesn't work out, you can get out of the contract for Watson's sake or the team that signs him. If there is no opt-out, 2024, $32 million, same number in 2025. He becomes an unrestricted free agent in 2026 at the ripe age of 31, Harrison.
Yeah.
He could cash in yet again after just cashing in just previously on that 4-year, $156 million deal.
Yeah, and that's why when you look at a lot of the contracts in the league, going 3-4 years is the way to go. Like, that's why everybody who always tells me this Mahomes contract is ridiculous, it's too much. It's a bargain for the Chiefs because they've got him under contract for 10, 12 years, whereas if he went 3-4 years at a time, he'd probably make 1.5x with how much the cap is going up each and every year. So you have to factor in the money with Deshaun Watson in as well. But I do think whatever decision he makes, I think he views this as this is where I want to finish my career. I want to play here for 10 to 12 years. Win a couple Super Bowls for either New Orleans or Atlanta. Now we're just waiting to see which team that is. For you Saints fans, if you want Deshaun Watson to come to New Orleans, subscribe to the channel. Producer Trace, our resident Saints fan here at Chat Sports, he's been working hard to help us get some content out to you guys on our Saints channel. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button for more New Orleans Saints news and rumors. He'll have you covered. The rest of the staff will get you up to date as well. Final thoughts here, Chase, as we're day 4, day 5 with Deshaun Watson watch. Once, the criminal stuff got cleared last week, where are we at here? I'm leaning Atlanta. I don't think it's done, because if it was done, we would know by now. 70-30? 60-40? Is it 50-50 still? What are you thinking between New Orleans and Atlanta?
Yeah, I think the lean here is Atlanta. I really do. I think he's going to go to the Atlanta Falcons, and the Saints are going to have to go up against him twice a year. I think that's how it shakes out. I think the late movement for Atlanta really is telling.
We'll see what happens, but Trace wants you guys to type Who Dat Nation if you made it to this point in the video. Do it in the comments, and hey, if you do it enough, maybe Deshaun Watson will choose the New Orleans Saints. For everybody watching on our Chat Sports YouTube channel and Bears Now and 49ers Report, did you read that, by the way, Jack? Give that a glance, Chase. I'm indifferent on what you want to do on Niners. Type NO for the Saints. Type ATL for the Falcons. And let us know where you guys think Deshaun Watson is going to end up. And we'll get some shout-outs here. Let the chat catch up here. A lot of ATL in. A few New Orleans. A couple Carolinas. Carolina's been eliminated, guys, for those who don't know. Let's see. Who dat? We got Darnell Mooney is the GOAT. We'll do that top free agents, and that'll go on there as well, but that doesn't need to be live. Yeah. This is just for getting Bears off. Slam says, or Matthew says New Orleans.
I'll
Aaron
take the views.
says ATL. Randall says Armstead. Some team will sign Ogunjobi for like just $4 million. Maybe we'll have to wait and see. Let's circle back real quick to the Bears news from earlier today, just real quick. Shout out to all of the Bears fans hanging out with us. I'll hit this news one more time, and then we're going to sign off on Bears Now. I put out that video breaking down the Larry Ogunjobi signing in further detail, so you guys can check that out. We'll have another video probably later today as well. Contract falls through, Chase. 3 years, $40.5 million. Failed the physical. Unfortunate, but I think maturely handled by the Bears.
I think so, too. And for Ryan Pace to want to make a splash, he makes that splash, but to still go back on, his original word of trying to build for the future for Chicago, he ends up backing out of the deal, which I think is a smart thing to do. If the medicals don't check out, if he's not in shape, if there's something wrong with the foot and you pay him a lot of money and you end up signing him and giving him all that money, but he can't produce, that's very problematic for what this team wants to do and how they want to build. Now, they absorbed that blow by signing Justin Jones as an interior defensive lineman. Star Lotulelei is also out there. He was released by the Buffalo Bills. Harrison, let me throw this out there. Fletcher Cox?
Ooh, it's another name.
Could Fletcher Cox go to the Bears?
Sounds like the Eagles would like to bring him back, but we'll see.
And he would like to go back to Philadelphia.
Justin Jones is where the pivot has gone to for now. I don't necessarily view that as we're done at defensive tackle, though, so we'll see what happens on that front. So that's kind of where we're at. Larry Ogunjobi contract falls through. Justin Jones on board. We'll see where the Bears go next. This is a super chat that's coming on Bears Now. We'll hit that. All the talk about Armstead recently. Isn't he the O-line version? Oh, yeah, we hit this one. Injuries, but certainly can still play when he's healthy at a high level. Why aren't the Chiefs making more moves? Look, they're being patient. They're being quiet. We'll see what Kansas City ends up doing. So here's what we're going to do. Bears fans, appreciate you rocking and rolling with us today. Like I said, we'll have a video later today. I'm going to sign off here on Bears Now. I know it's some tough news today about Larry Ogunjobi. Good news, bad news. We're going to break it all down. Hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for a video later with the latest free agency buzz around this team. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you want to stay or hang out with our NFL free agency coverage, we're still going to be live on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel, so you can swing on over there as well. But for now, we're going to sign off on our Bears Now live stream. So we'll go ahead and do that. And also, give us a follow on Rumble. It's rumble.com/BearsNow. Link is down below. We'll still be live on Rumble, by the way. So if you want to go support Bears Now on Rumble, rumble.com/BearsNow. We'll stay live over there. Got to sign off here on YouTube. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with us here on Bears Now Live. Okay, let's get back some shout-outs here. Chase, what are the Niners saying about the Watson stuff? Where do they want him to go, if you had to guess?
Not inside the NFC. I think that's safe to say for the Niners, but I think that's going to be the reality of the situation. I see Jamie Bryant in the chat. What's up, Chase? DJ Molly, John Schladney, J-Man B, Jamie, G-Rod, Terrell Smith, DJ, Rich Hidalgo, Chris R, New Money Beats. Stay tuned and keep it locked here on the Niners Report. I'm going to be doing a mailbag, taking all of your Niners-related questions. So if you're watching us on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel, you'll be able to use the hashtag 49ers. But start getting those questions in right now on the 49ers Report, as we have a couple hundred people watching live. Hit that thumbs up icon, like the video. More Niners coverage to come, as well as the top free agents on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel and on the Niners Report.
Yeah, appreciate that as well. Why don't you go to Chase Solo here for a second? He can get some shout-outs going in the chat, get the comments flowing again, and I'm going to talk to producer Jack here for a second.
Okay, going over to our main Chat Sports YouTube channel, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Appreciate all of you for making today's show a part of your day. Going to give some shout-outs to the people who are watching live, as we have been live all 5 days of NFL free agency. Our coverage has been top-notch. It's been the most watched on YouTube, and it's been the most consistent because we have continued to go live every single day of NFL free agency. Deshaun Watson watch, that's really been the play the last 5 days, and breaking down all of these signings as they come in. So shout-outs for where Watson will go on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. Maddox, ATL. NFL Experience, typing me. Okay. ATL from Grady. My guy Chase from 30 Racks. What it do, man? Fly Eagles Fly. I see the emoji. OG right here. Taco Frog. T. Thompson. Watson guilty AF. Not according to the Supreme Court. Played out in the court of law. ATL from Maddox. Where do you think Watson is going to go? Some Saints votes coming in. Big Smokey. Tommy the Fox. I see Rebel CP. Also going with the Saints. ATL rise up from Tony Sparks. Tony Sparks sparking up with the picture and the bio. I see ya. Can't kill Shibby. Sportsbooks have the Saints at -200. But I think Atlanta is the leader. ATL from Smoke. Joey Fauble, New Orleans. Isaiah Ritchie. What is that? Some crawfish? A lobster? That would say Saints, I would guess. Man, I kind of want to do a crawfish broil. Trace was talking about that the other day. Trace, when's the crawfish broil? That's a tongue twister. Trace, crawfish broil. When is the crawfish broil? When are we doing that?
Got to get one going.
It's about that time, right? Isn't it like the best time of year for crawfish?
It's coming up.
Hey. If Deshaun Watson goes to the Big Easy, crawfish party's going to be crazy. Yeah. What kind of bowl? Crawfish broil? All right.
All right, I'm back.
Harrison's back.
If you're having a good time, I know I am. Like
Yes.
the video. I don't know why you wouldn't be having a good time. Day 5 of NFL free agency. I should probably see what's going on in March Madness. Do we have some score updates?
Yeah, I can give you some score updates.
Give me some. I'm pulling it up here, but any games go final
Looking
yet?
at Ohio State, 37-26 over Loyola Chicago.
I'm a little surprised by that result.
Auburn, 41-27 over Jacksonville State. Texas Tech, 10-2 over Montana
12-2
State.
now. By the way, that Loyola Ohio State game, 37-26, that's with 11 minutes left in the second
half. Yes.
Loyola cannot score.
No.
So,
Well, neither can Ohio State, really.
Yeah, they could score a little more.
Yeah,
just a little more.
slugfest.
Slugfest there. Tech out to a blitzing start. We got the Ivy Leaguers. Yale taking on Purdue here at 1 o'clock Central Time. So we'll keep you guys up to date on that as well. What's that, Jack? 22. I have no idea. No idea. If you're having a good time, like this video, hit that thumbs up icon, and we'll keep it moving here. How many likes we got on our mainstream? Looks like we got about 350. We got to get to 500.
500
likes.
For shots?
We'll take a shot for
Let's
500.
go. It's about time.
Yeah, it's about that time. It's shot time.
Been live for about an hour.
Yeah, I've been live for a little while. Hour and 15, actually.
Yeah.
Like the video. We get to 500 likes. We'll take a shot. Who says no?
Let's go.
Sounds like a win-win to me on that front. So like this video if you want us to take a shot on today's show. So I don't know why they wouldn't want to, Chase.
Hey, you can't be scared.
No.
I know that for a fact.
Yeah. Well, last night was taking the you can't be scared to an all-time level.
Yeah, that was legendary.
An all-time level. There's no doubt about that. Okay, so what are we going to next here, Jack? Doing a Chiefs cut? All right, we'll get you caught up on the latest on this. Let me put this in production.
Should do a super chat menu real quick.
Yeah, do that with Chase. I'm doing something real quick.
All right, Niner gang,
here.
it's been a little while since we've been able to party live on the 49ers Report. And here at Chat Sports, we've been partying all 5 days of NFL free agency. Let's keep it moving. Have a Yingling right here. Already cracked a beer, but let's get it popping, man. $5 super chat will give you a beer cheers. $10, we'll talk about the Niners. We'll talk about your team. $15 super chat roulette wheel spin. I have that to my left. $25 super chat. We'll take some shots as well as when we get to 500 likes. And for $100, a $100 super chat. We're the big ballers at I'll do the Das Boot. You know what? I'll do the Das Boot.
You in?
$100 super chat. I will do the Das Boot. That's 3 beers in a glass boot. I'll rock it. I'll do it. I'll make the sacrifice for us here at Chat Sports because everybody else is way too busy. It's day 5 of NFL free agency. It's the second day of the NCAA tournament, and it's a Friday. Let's go.
It's the trifecta.
It's a trifecta.
And
one of the best moments of the year for sports fans.
And tonight's going to be litty.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So there's the super chat
And I'll
menu.
be in Fort Worth at Dickies Arena at like 11 a.m.
Hey, you just gotta put on that
Gotta
rally
rally,
cap.
man. Niner gang, that's our super chat
that's
menu.
That might be after a 3 a.m. trip to Gapco.
Let's go.
So buckle
oh
up.
boy.
Hey, can't be scared.
Can't be scared.
You said
out
it.
Here.
You
Yes.
said it. All right. The Chiefs haven't made a ton of moves, but there's a lot of stuff pertaining to them. We'll break that down here in just a few moments, and then we'll keep things moving here as we continue on day 5 of NFL free agency. So stay tuned for that here on today's show as producer Jack's getting everything lined up for us right now. So stick with us. Day 5 of NFL free agency. Let's get you guys caught up with everything surrounding the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome into the Chiefs Report here on NFL Daily by Chat Sports is where we're filming this show initially. Harrison Graham and Chase Sr. rolling with me today. Chase, the Chiefs have been quiet, but there's been some news around them, a couple of new rumors surfacing. Do want to get into all of that. Now, this happened last night. Chiefs lose one of their receivers, Byron Pringle, to the Chicago Bears, and quite frankly, I think a pretty fair deal for Chicago. 1 year, $4 million, incentives up to $6 million. Really had emerged as a nice number 3 receiver for the Chiefs last year. Now he exits, and Kansas City will need to add a receiver to replace him.
I really like his game. He has some wiggle, and as a complimentary piece, I thought he was really good for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think the Bears are getting a good player with some high upside here on a 1 year, $4 million deal, up to $6 million with some performance incentives, and I think he can live up to those expectations, Harrison. This is a big loss for KC, and it's another one of those depth pieces that they really couldn't afford on this roster as they continue to really compete for Super Bowls, and the reality is you have to make some tough decisions, like not being able to retain Byron Pringle.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And, Chiefs Kingdom's been asking me, why are they quiet? Why are they quiet? Can they still make moves? Well, they can still restructure Patrick Mahomes' contract and free up another $20+ million. So they can go that route. There's some receivers we'll get to later on in the show that to keep in mind if the Chiefs want to upgrade at that position. You still have Tyreek Hill. You still have McCole Hardman. By the way, a Tyreek Hill contract extension has been reported as in the works. So we'll just have to wait and see when that happens. But Pringle's been a nice development story. Played his college ball at K-State, stayed home for his early NFL days, works his way up, and now he gets a payday with the Chicago Bears. So good for him. Wish him nothing but the best. Name a player that the Chiefs should sign in NFL free agency. Get your thoughts in the comments right now below. Maybe you want JuJu Smith-Schuster. Maybe you want Odell Beckham. More on him later on. Let us know who you would like to see the Chiefs sign. Now, Chase, a reason the Chiefs Kingdom continues to kind of freak out is the AFC West continues to just make blockbuster moves. This one went down last night in the division. Davante Adams getting traded to the Las Vegas Raiders for the Raiders' first 2 picks in 2021. Quite frankly, not that much of an overpay in draft compensation, if I'm being completely honest, for the best receiver in football. Now, they did pay him the absolute bag, over $28 million per year on a 5-year deal. So he enters the AFC West, teams up with his college quarterback, Derek Carr. This division, Chase, on paper, we'll see how it plays out, one of the best of all time. I mean, it's been unbelievable, the moves they've made. And I would argue a lot of these moves have been made by Denver getting Russell Wilson, Adams to the Raiders, the Chargers going to get J.C. Jackson, because they're chasing the Kansas City Chiefs, who have run this division for over half a decade now.
The AFC West this upcoming year reminds me a lot, Harrison, of the NFC West from this past year in 2021. You think about the NFC West last year. Best division, most competitive division in football. You have the defending Super Bowl champions in the Los Angeles Rams. They had to get past the 49ers in the NFC Championship game, so that's another Final Four team. The Arizona Cardinals continued to build and move forward with Kyler Murray, and they made it into the playoffs as a double-digit win team. And even the Seahawks, even though Russell Wilson suffered that injury, they were at least somewhat competitive. So that's really what the AFC West this upcoming year in 2022 is going to remind me of the NFC West from 2021.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. It's possible it could be even better. I mean, that's what's crazy about all these moves happening. And, Chiefs Kingdom's freaking out, and I understand. But, these teams have to close the gap to catch up to Kansas City. This has been the Chiefs division for a very, very long time. I understand how Adams to the Raiders can bother you, but I'm still not going to sit here and say, oh, well, Vegas, they've passed Kansas City. The Broncos, these teams have to prove that. Kansas City has run this division for a while now, and until someone takes down that throne from the Chiefs, someone can beat Patrick Mahomes enough in this division, this is still the Chiefs division. Make no mistake about it, but it's a division that has 4 competitive teams and 4 teams that feel like they can win right now. And now with the Raiders getting a legit number 1 receiver in Davante Adams, they have entered the equation as well. It's very, very interesting. My initial reaction to the Raiders trading for Adams, by the way, my one-word reaction, Chase, was simply just, wow. The amount of moves this division continues to make. By the way, I saw a graphic. The amount of money shelved out in the AFC West would be was almost more than the NFC total or something like that. That's how much this conference is kind of battling one another, because the AFC is the more competitive conference right now. I don't think there's any doubt.
It is. And this is really going to make the Chiefs' road to another AFC West title that much harder.
Yeah, it's tougher. Yeah.
This is why when people talk about, oh, the Chiefs win that first Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes, league MVP, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy, Brett Veach, they're going to win 8 Super Bowls. Look, the NFL is a league of parity, Harrison. We know that. And the NFL is uber competitive. And for the Chiefs, they have kind of slid the last couple of years, and to try to get back to title contention, they're going to have to still compete with the Buffalo Bills. They're going to have to compete with Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos. Now, the Las Vegas Raiders with Carr and Adams linking up. But you know what? It's awesome because as competitors, you want to relish this type of opportunity to go up against the best players and the best teams, and it's going to prepare KC in the division for the gauntlet that is the AFC playoffs.
Continue to get your one-word reaction in for the Raiders trading for Adams. What I would counter with that is you think about this stretch, and yeah, only one Super Bowl win for the Chiefs. They've been to 2. They're really just a halftime meltdown away against Cincinnati from going to a 3rd straight Super Bowl last year. That should have never happened. The Bucs Super Bowl, their entire offensive line got hurt before the Super Bowl. They couldn't block. So this is still a team that I would argue has been the best team in the AFC for about half a decade now. But you're absolutely right. It's only getting stronger in this conference. It's only getting stronger in this division. The good news is hey, you're in playoff mode all year now because you got to bring it each and every week to win these games. And I'm going to be excited to be breaking down these games for you guys in 2022. Now, make sure you guys follow us on Rumble. The Chiefs Report is now over there, and you guys can follow and support the channel by following us on Rumble. More Chiefs news, rumors, unfiltered access from yours truly over there. I would greatly appreciate it. Give us a follow. Help us grow on Rumble. That way, we can continue to expand our platform here at the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Okay, let's move on to this story, Chase. And I'm going to not connect dots, but maybe just speculate here. So Allen Robinson to the Rams. That was a big move on day 4 of free agency. Robert Woods now is apparently available for a trade, according to Adam Schefter. He, of course, is coming off a torn ACL, but unlike Odell Beckham, who we'll talk about in a minute, should be ready by training camp. This one happened earlier in the season than obviously Beckham's in the Super Bowl. Trading for Robert Woods would intrigue me because you could bring him in here. You got McCole Hardman who could slide.
Great weapon.
McCole Hardman slides as like your number 3. Tyreek Hill, Robert Woods, McCole Hardman, Travis Kelce, Mahomes slinging it. That would be pretty good for Kansas City, and he's still a young and really good player.
Yeah, and I think his contract is somewhat affordable, too. He did sign that deal that was long-term with the Los Angeles Rams a couple of years ago, but given his level of production, you look at it before the injury last year and for the last couple of years, he's a really good player, and he'd be an awesome skill player alongside Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and a good fit in that scheme as well. I mean, he could play inside, he could play outside, he can go up and get it, has some good speed, he has miss ability after the catch as kind of a yak guy too. He is always a threat to really take it to the crib, Harrison. So too is OBJ, who was resurrected last year on the same team.
Yeah, and I do wonder if the Chiefs are at least monitoring Odell Beckham, because reports came out he may not be ready until November, which makes sense. He tore his ACL in mid-February. It's usually at least an 8-month recovery. That would put you in October. Now, some guys are coming back faster. 8 months, by the way, is very fast, but it's become more normal these days. 9-10 months is kind of the average now for an ACL, so that would put you into November. Could the Chiefs hang out, maybe sign Beckham later on in free agency, or maybe even once the season starts, because I don't think the Rams are going to bring him back now. Now, I guess if the Rams trade Robert Woods, that could reopen the door for OBJ to go back to L.A., and maybe those conversations are taking place. But, look, the Chiefs can afford to not bring on Beckham until midseason. They've got enough weapons. Imagine adding him in like week 10 for the stretch run and getting him for the playoffs to this offense. I think that's pretty intriguing as well. There still are receivers out there, and I think the Chiefs will be okay after losing Byron Pringle. Grade the Chiefs' move so far, A, B, C, D, or F. Let us know how you feel about it overall. Obviously, it's been quiet, so I can't give it an A grade or anything like that. But it certainly has been interesting to watch all the moves in the AFC West. Once the Chiefs make a major move, we will be covering it here on the Chiefs Report, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Don't miss any of our content here on the channel. We've got you guys covered better than anybody here on YouTube. Get a couple shout-outs, and we got to catch up on Supers. Let's get to that big one right off the bat here.
On the 49ers report.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and go to it. CBAF, there's a couple shout-outs. All right, here we go.
Yeah,
Problem.
Sits
in a Hyundai.
I said, $100 Super Chat. I do the Das Boot, 3 beers in this glass boot. Problem came through on the 49ers report. So a $99 Super Chat, $100. Let's round up. Thank you, my man. And I'll shotgun a beer for a $50 Super Chat if we really want to. I mean, shoot, we ain't scared.
Can't be.
Today's a marathon, not a sprint, but how you going to win a marathon if you don't run fast? You know, that's
Exactly.
really how it goes down.
That's
so
how it goes.
Cheers to Problem as well as the Niner gang. Going to take down Das Boot here.
You doing it? All right, here we go. Chant chug in the chat. Chug, 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 chug.
That bubble is wild, isn't it?
You got to turn it, man. You got to turn it. It's tough. Chase taking it down there, but this is what we do. We make promises and we keep them because we're not frauds. There you go. That's pretty good work. Almost done?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go. Digital Devil, I see you typing chug.
No spillage?
Minor spillage.
Minor spillage?
Just
all right.
because when you got to twist it, and then when you twist it, there's like this like bubble that goes back and forth.
Yeah.
Kind of hits you a little bit.
Yeah, a little bubble action. It can happen. But that's pretty good work. You want to top off there, or should we?
Yeah, no. Give some shout-outs and go through some supers. I'll finish this piece.
All right, cool. Patrick with the super chat, $5. How much would Van Der Esch cost? Well, he re-signed with Dallas, so there you go. I'm guessing 1 year deal, maybe $5 million to return to the Cowboys on that front. By the way, we're missing something out there. I don't know what's going on, but it's all very entertaining. Van Der Esch back to Dallas. And by the way, Chase, Ian Rappaport had mentioned that Dallas plans on using Micah Parsons more as an edge, which makes sense for a couple reasons.
That's what I said, yeah.
One, you lost Randy Gregory. And two, he showed last year that, yeah, he's an unbelievable linebacker. He's also a damn good pass rusher. So
very good pass
maybe
rusher.
The move is to not overpay for an edge rusher, have Micah play more edge, and then just bring back a guy like Van Der Esch and give him more snaps at linebacker,
with
a guy
how
that
elite,
you know very well.
Yeah, with how elite he was as a pass rusher last year, why would you take him out of that role when it's one of the more important roles on a football team? You know, those three sayings and the three rules to building a good team: get a quarterback, protect the quarterback, and get after the quarterback. And if you can knock off one of those threes on the checklist, dude, I mean, you do it. And you allow Micah Parsons to continue to stay comfortable. I actually don't like him dropping into coverage because I think he's actually more susceptible to injury sometimes. Let him just attack instead of going back in coverage, although he is very good there. But, hey, you can still use him in both areas, just more as a pass rusher, and that helps make up for losing out on Von Miller and not signing Randy Gregory.
I kind of view him as a Tyrann Mathieu of a front seven. Matthew's a back seven guy where he can kind of slide up, play some box, linebacker, safety stuff. He can cover, he can hit, etc. Whereas Micah's that in the front seven. He can drop back into coverage a little bit at linebacker. He can stop the run. He's sideline to sideline, and he can get after the quarterback.
Yep.
That's kind of how I view him. You can line him up in different spots, and that's very valuable. Let's play a game, shall we? Shout out your favorite team, and then the first team I see in 5 seconds, we'll talk about that team for you guys. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I see the Broncos. Well, you got Russell Wilson. Nothing else matters. Kidding. They made some other good moves, too.
DJ Jones, Randy Gregory.
Yep.
This team is really, really good, and I've felt this way about the Broncos the last couple of years. George Payton's done a good job of building that football team. He's been able to acquire a lot of talent. What's the big problem, and what has been the big problem that is no longer an issue for Denver? Finding a quarterback. They have their quarterback. They have a very good offense. Look, Courtland Sutton, KJ Hamler, Jerry Jeudy, Albert Okwuegbunam. I think Javonte Williams, one of the best young running backs in the NFL. The defense with Gregory and DJ Jones is very good. Patrick Surtain in that secondary. This defense is loaded.
Justin
the offense
Simmons
is stacked. We'll see what Nathaniel Hackett can do, but the 2 years he was with Aaron Rodgers, what happened? MVPs both years.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's there's no doubt about that. Let's play it one more time, Chase. I'll count you down from 5, and you can pick a team. You have the main chat pulled
Yes,
up?
I do.
All right,
1,500 people watching live, almost 1,600.
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pick a team.
Dolphins.
All right.
Love what the Dolphins have done. Take it away, Harrison.
Yeah, Miami, the Miami 49ers, as we're starting to call them. They hire Mike McDaniel as their head coach. I like some of the guys that bring on board: Chase Edmonds, Cedric Wilson, Raheem Mostert, all guys that will contribute on offense, I believe, and for pretty reasonable contracts, too. I think Mostert got just over $3 million on a 1-year deal. Edmonds was about 2 year, $12 million. And then Cedric Wilson was about 3 years, $22 million. I think all those guys will contribute. This year is all about finding out if Tua is the guy. I think that's what it is. I'd like to see more pieces on the offensive line. They did get Connor Williams, which I like that addition. I'd like to see them get another offensive tackle, but if Tua is protected well enough and still doesn't play well enough, then I think you find out your answer. If not, if he does play well, then, hey, you've got your guy. So that's what this season's all about in McDaniel's first year, finding out if Tua is the guy in Miami. But I like what they've done in free agency.
Me too. And I like how they're starting this new regime. I think Mike McDaniel's a rock star at the head coaching position. I really think he's going to be able to bring Miami back and do it quickly. It really hinges a lot on Tua Tagovailoa, but everywhere that Mike McDaniel has been as an assistant coach, now as a head coach, he's helped develop quarterbacks. Robert Griffin III, Matt Ryan, Jimmy Garoppolo, now his biggest project yet in the biggest role as head coach, Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Play again because we like talking about different teams. So I'm just going to randomly look right now. Raiders. Okay. Well, that kind of speaks for itself, right, Chase? They started a little slow, but then things picked up quickly as obviously last night they get Davante Adams. It sounds like they're in the mix for Stephon Gilmore. Jordan Schultz reports that they placed an offer. You go get Chandler Jones, you trade Yannick Ngakoue, but you get back Rock Ya-Sin, who's a starting caliber corner. You sign Anthony Averett, who can start at nickel for you if you like. I like what the Raiders have done. If Josh McDaniels can get the best out of Derek Carr, that team can compete this year.
I think they can too, and it's really going to be fascinating theater, fascinating television to see how the AFC West transpires. Loaded teams, great teams, star power at the quarterback position. And you know what I also like, Harrison, about the teams in the AFC West? Well-rounded teams too. Yes, we talk about quarterbacks, we talk about these high-powered, high-octane offenses, but the defenses are good too. So while we'll see some shootouts offensively, given the weather and given these defenses, we could see some slugfest too that are lower-scoring games, a complexion of styles.
Pick us another team to talk about here, Chase. Just randomly pick one here.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Keep this game flowing. The Pittsburgh Steelers, listen, you sign Mitch Trubisky. Can he be a bus driver for you, make some athletic plays from time to time? Don't screw it up. I think that's the approach with him leading that offense. Defense is going to be loaded. Love the Myles Jack signing. They've been linked to Tyrann Mathieu as a potential signing. I think that would be fascinating. Should have a top 5 defense, and if Trubisky can just get them out of the gutter offensively, give them a top 20-ish offense, run the football with Najee Harris, get the ball out to playmakers, Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool, Pat Freiermuth, then I think this team can make some moves, especially with the uncertainty around Cleveland now. It's possible that 2022 is not a good year for Cleveland, even though they're in a window with the win-now roster, but quarterback very much in flux there. So Pittsburgh should be in the mix again in 2022 if Trubisky is at least, above average.
Yeah. Yeah, we talking Vikings now? Yeah? Yep, I saw it. Awesome.
All right, let's do this piece. Let me glance at it a little bit.
Oh, boy. We got another $100 super chat on Niners.
All right,
We'll do that after, or you want to do it now? Trace, time for you to do a boot. $100 super chat on Niners.
We'll talk some Vikings here in a minute, but hey, things are happening. Things are happening.
Get me your beer, I'll shotgun, you do a boot. How about it? You won't do a boot? You soft? How are you supposed to win the marathon if you don't run fast, boy?
Oh,
don't break it, by the way, on your way out.
Whoa!
Hey! Trizzy Trace. Nicole and Harold Gillenwater with the $100 super chat on the Niners report. Thank you so much. So, Trace, when you come in, you do the boot, I'll do a shotgun with you. Okay? And my keys are on my desk if somebody wants to grab those for me. I'm not trying to be too needy, but just trying to have some fun.
Hey, man.
Nicole and Harold Gillenwater, thank you so much for supporting the show here on the Niners Report. I know you guys have really supported and watched ever since I took over after the NFL draft.
Is this just a couple? Is this
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, man.
Very cool. They got the combined YouTube channel.
Yes, love it.
Love it. Absolutely.
Do another Das boot. I'm getting my boy Trizzy Trace since we're live for like several hours.
Yeah,
so.
Skull tie catch 84.
Also, Trace did say he could do 3 beer bongs or the boot. So, Nicole and Harold Gillenwater, let me know if you'd rather him do the boot or 3 beer bongs.
I like the boots.
Let me know in the comments section.
Harrison, you should sign with Minnesota. They don't have enough. I don't know what that means, but hey, man, I cover the Bears. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
That's just how we rock it. We are going to talk Vikings coming up, though, so stay tuned for
that.
How about we talk Vikings? We showed the Super Chat.
Yeah.
We'll do the Das Boot after we talk Vikings. That'll give Trizzy Trace some time to prepare.
I think it's Harold in the chat. Let me know if you want Trace, producer Trace, to do the boot or 3 beer bongs. Let us know in the comment section. We'll circle back to that after we do this.
All right, here we go. Let's talk about the Vikings. Day 5 of NFL free agency is rolling along, and you got Harrison Graham and Chase Sr. here on NFL Daily by Chat Sports. Getting ready to catch you guys up on the latest surrounding the Minnesota Vikings, who have been mostly quiet, but some minor moves and some rumors floating out there around this team. This is a significant one, though, Chase. Adam Thielen, there had been some trade buzz. Maybe they'd move on from him. He has agreed to a contract restructure. He will remain with the Vikings for this upcoming season, which I like because you bring in a guy like Kevin O'Connell, give him as much soldiers offensively as you can. Cousins is back. Adam Thielen, Jefferson, Dalvin Cook. There's no excuse for this to not be a top 10 offense in the 2022 season.
I agree. And for Minnesota, I think it all hinges on Kirk Cousins. How can Kirk Cousins get the Vikings past this threshold where they've really been an average or above average team? He has everything at his fingertips. He has the weapons on this team. He now has an offensive-minded head coach. The receiving core of Thielen to go along with Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook is spectacular. The offensive line, some questions there, but you addressed that last year in the NFL draft. The defense is very good as well. The Vikings and Kirk Cousins have to be better in late game situations. That's also what it comes down to. They lost so many games last year inside of 8 points, inside of 1 score. Couple of those games go a different way, and we're looking at a different football team. The pressure is on considering what Kirk Cousins is paid. There's no question about that.
Yeah, look, this is all going to hinge on Cousins, and, they've tied themselves to him for this year and next year now, so the next 2 seasons. But keeping a guy like Thielen helps Cousins play his best. Kevin O'Connell coming in as an offensive-minded head coach. You got to develop that relationship. I'm glad Thielen is back, dealt with some injuries last year.
Yeah.
Before last season, we were talking about Jefferson as Thielen is arguably the best duo in the league. I mean, those are 2 number 1 receivers when they're both healthy. And now with Davante Adams out of the division, who we'll get to in a second, could be 2 of the top receivers in the NFC North. Spam 19 to show some love to Adam Thielen if you're excited about him staying with Minnesota. I think it's a good move by the Vikings. I think it makes sense for Thielen as well. So type 19 down in the comments. I just alluded to it, Chase. Don't have to deal with Davante Adams anymore. The Vikings, the Bears, the Lions.
Every Vikings fan.
They are also they are all a sign of relief to see this guy exit to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Look, this guy has wreaked havoc inside of this division for so long, and him and Aaron Rodgers, that 1-2 punch, that combination at the quarterback wide receiver position, they've been 2 of the elite players at their respective positions for a really long time, and Vikings fans know all about that. So how does this impact Aaron Rodgers? I mean, he has been so trustworthy in Davante Adams over time, maybe to a fault. He tries to target him a little bit too much, just like what happened in the NFC Championship game, the divisional round against the San Francisco 49ers when he didn't trust anybody else to make a play, and he was forcing the ball to Davante Adams. Now, you take him out of that offense, where does Aaron Rodgers go now? Because who is the number 2 wide receiver on that team who elevates to number 1? Or is there another move to be made like an OBJ, a Jarvis Landry, a Julio Jones? But either way, for Vikings and this defense to not have to face Davante Adams any longer, it's great for the Vikings, and in doing so for Davante Adams, it's great for him because he gets paid on a historic deal, 5 years, $141+ million.
My God, he got the bag.
The bag.
I think I saw, is it the biggest contract for a non-quarterback ever? If it's not, it's one of them. It's up there for sure. It's highest paid receiver of all time, over $28 million per year. But for the Vikings, they don't have to deal with this guy anymore, and he was a problem in recent years, especially last year when Minnesota's corners did not play at a good enough level. So Vikings fans, what was your one-word reaction, or what is your one-word reaction to the Raiders trading away Davante Adams, or to the Raiders trading for Adams and the Packers trading away Adams? Give me your one-word reaction. How about Whew!
Yeah.
Don't have
Like
to worry
this.
about it anymore.
Oh, my goodness.
Those beads of sweat have dried up all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that's our reaction. Let us know what yours is as well. Make sure you guys subscribe to Minnesota Vikings Now on YouTube. We're closing in on 3,000 subscribers on our Vikings channel. Producer Jack doing a great job helping grow it up. YouTube.com/Vikings today. And let's get more Vikings coverage here on YouTube. Okay, Mackenzie Alexander, he will not be re-signing with the Vikings, as I think you're going to see a bit of a retooling in the secondary. Chase, Bashaud Breeland, that did not work out last year. Patrick Peterson was just okay. I don't expect him to return as well. Maybe he does. They cut Jeff Gladney after his he had some, I think, domestic assault charges, which later got dropped, and now the Cardinals have signed him. So you're going to be looking at a whole new secondary outside of maybe Cameron Dantzler.
Yeah, because Jeff Gladney, you lose him. He's the former first-round pick who ran into those domestic violence issues. So if there is a question for the Vikings so far and still in NFL free agency, it really is that secondary. Now, luckily for them, no longer have to go up against Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams as that aforementioned 1-2 punch. But they need to address that secondary spot, because in a pass-happy NFL where there are a bunch of elite quarterbacks, especially on the Vikings schedule, you can't afford to get picked apart, because I'm not sure how great that defensive line is either, which could open itself up to the secondary kind of being susceptible for some blown coverages.
Now, I mentioned I wouldn't necessarily see Patrick Peterson returning. He played okay last year, but if you're losing guys and if the CB market kind of dries up, then you could bring him back. He's a CB2 at this point in his career. Certainly getting older, wasn't what he was in his peak Cardinals days, but you at least kind of know what you have in Patrick Peterson. So name a player that the Vikings should sign. Let us know down in the comment section. Who would you like to see Minnesota bring in? Is there a name out there that you would like to see Minnesota sign?
Man, a Steven Nelson type. You can get him on like a 2-year, $7 million deal. I think you could look to those corners. I don't think they're going to go big fish hunting with a player like Stephon Gilmore, but they need to address that cornerback spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Michael Pierce, he is officially gone. He is signed with the Baltimore Ravens, 3 years, $16.5 million, 5.5 a year. Gets about 6.75 guaranteed. So they'll have to find a replacement on that defensive line. They signed Harrison Phillips as kind of a guy who can help fill that void, Chase. But Pierce gets a nice little payday with Baltimore.
Yeah, he does. And Michael Pierce, pretty solid player, and I think he's going to be able to add a lot to this football team. And I kind of like the deal just because it's a 3-year, $16.5 million deal, but really, all these NFL contracts come down to the guaranteed money. Yep. So if what you sign Pierce for at $16.5 million, if it doesn't work out for you, you can cut bait after a year or two, and it's only, a small cap hit and a small financial figure there. So I think he's going to be able to add a lot to this team.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens as he lands in Baltimore. Grade the Vikings move so far, A, B, C, D, or F, and predict what's going to happen next with Minnesota. Get some shout-outs here. I'm going to get some NCAA tournament updates as well, Chase. Ohio State finishes off Loyola. No second-round appearance for Sister Jean this year. 54-41, just a slugfest in the South region. Purdue leading Yale 27-21. That one midway through the first half. Texas Tech hammering Montana State 41-20. I know your boy plays for Montana State.
Yeah.
A tough go.
Xavier Bishop. Shout out Zay. Shout out to the 217, Springfield, Illinois.
Let's see what he's doing today. 0 for 2 points.
That defense for Texas Tech is so
top
good.
5 in the nation.
And Zay is 5'6", 5'7".
Yeah,
so
it's tough.
I can see him having a little bit of trouble, but an awesome player.
Auburn 65-50 over Jacksonville State. That one's got about 8 minutes left in the second half as the 2-seeded Tigers look to advance to the round of 32. All right, is this another one? Okay, here's $100. I didn't know why were the guys huddling up in here? Do we know?
Because Tyler wants to do the boot.
Tyler. So Tracy Trace is backing out?
Yeah, so Trace, you're still going to have to beer bong. That's going to have to go down. So because of this $100 super chat from Nicole and Harold Gillenwater, we're going to bring one of the new guys on, Tyler Jones, in week 2. He's going to do the boot, and then Trace is going to do a beer bong. Yeah, so come get the boot, fill it up, and then you'll come on. and you'll do that. Trace will do a beer bong, and I'll shotgun for this $100 super chat. How's that?
We're also 50 likes away from 500.
It's right here.
And that equals a shot, Chase.
Yes.
Like the video. Once we get to 500 likes, we're taking a shot. Help us out.
Come fill it up with
Hit
the 3.
that thumbs up icon. We're 43 likes away. Like the video. After we do all this madness, we'll catch up on some super chats. We'll get back to some Deshaun Watson trade watch, and we'll keep you guys in tune with everything going on here on a Friday, day 5 of NFL free agency. So like the video. We'll need some fireball too, boys, because we're going to get to 500
keys
likes.
on my desk. Yeah.
And then we will
give me a beer and
we'll
then the
this
fireball
party flowing
as well.
Here.
We're just throwing out orders here at Chats. It's day 5 of free agency, man.
Couple of claws. These
all right. Look at you with the claw game. I might have to cop one of those,
These are out
too.
of the freezer, too. Nice and cold.
Yeah.
Nice and cold.
Nice and cold, baby.
That's like, they need to be sweating off the cans. That's very cold. That's what you want. Yeah, we're good. Perfect. Perfect pull. We crossed 500 likes, so we need to take shots, too. Can we get some fireball? Get some fireball? Let's ride.
Oh, it's been started.
Yeah, Chase and I are a couple deep already.
Yeah.
Like this video.
Gotta love $200 on Niner Super Chats.
Yeah, it's a good move by you. Good move by you, no doubt. Oh, man. While we're waiting for everybody to come in here, Chase, why don't we just circle back to Deshaun Watson for a couple moments here?
Yeah, Deshaun Watson watch.
A lot of people are tuning in for that here on day 5 of free agency.
1,400 people watching live. Nobody's been close to our live coverage, by the way. Nobody has been close.
No.
Day 5, 5 straight days. We've been killing the game, man.
Yeah, and by the way, I do think things have come to a bit of a standstill in free agency because of Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
to see what he does.
Because, look, he gets traded, right? And let's say he goes to the Atlanta Falcons. Then Matt Ryan is going to get dealt. And where does he go? Does he go to the Browns? Does he go to the Panthers? Does he go to the Seahawks? Does he go to the Colts? That then also impacts the Jimmy Garoppolo market for those watching on the 49ers report. So that stone has to be unturned for then Jimmy Garoppolo to get dealt. Also, the compensation aspect of it could impact a Matt Ryan deal and could impact a Jimmy G deal. So those are the moves that have to take place for this offseason to really get moving. And then, Harrison, last point here. Once Deshaun Watson goes somewhere, players might want to go to that respective team.
That was going to be my point. I think Teron Armstead, if Watson chooses the Saints, I think they find a way to bring him back.
Yeah.
Jarvis Landry, I think he could follow Deshaun Watson. There's been some chatter that could be the case. So there's some key players out there that are waiting to see where these dominoes fall.
Yep.
Then they're going to make their own decisions. So stay tuned. Hang with us. We'll cover all of it here on NFL Daily by Chat Sports. Where will Watson go? Type NO for the Saints. Type ATL for the Falcons. And by the way, this is why you subscribe, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Day 5 of NFL free agency.
This is why you subscribe, because we are having the time of our lives.
And here we are, live on
Let's go,
YouTube.
baby. Let's go.
Woo! And here we are on the screen. Day 5 of NFL free agency.
Yeah, shout out to Sergio Dip.
Sergio Dip, one of the all-time legends.
Oh, man. Off the rails for day 5.
And there he is.
Getting a little delirious.
Getting some shout-outs here. Rogue Brothers says New Orleans. Jim says New Orleans.
Look at that.
B. Moore says
Is that the
ATL.
straight-up piece?
Here's an interesting one.
Wow.
ATL for Watson, Matt Ryan for Indy. If you're Indianapolis and you recover by getting Matt Ryan indoors, dome,
dude,
that's pretty damn good.
Look, I have some concerns about his arm strength and how he
I do
ages.
Too. But if he's playing indoors, I think he's fine.
He's everything that Carson Wentz is not, though. Bona fide player, multi-time Pro Bowler.
Way better leader.
Long-time production that's been sustainable and much more consistent. But also, if Indianapolis has character concerns or leadership concerns with Carson Wentz, you don't have leadership or character concerns with Matt Ryan. He has been the ultimate face of the franchise for Atlanta for so long, won a league MVP, took the Falcons to the Super Bowl, playoff runs as well, and had to take over after the Michael Vick saga, which is not easy.
I was just going to say, I don't think people realize how much Atlanta, that city, loved Michael Vick, and he had to be the guy that replaced that.
Exactly.
And he took them to another level.
Yeah.
Like, Matty Ice can be the leader of a franchise still. Not for a long time, but 2-3 years, I still think he can really help a team. I think if Indianapolis recover, I think Indy is secretly hoping that Deshaun Watson chooses Atlanta.
I agree.
And then they can get Matt Ryan. I think that's what they would prefer. Here's some more super chats. I don't know what's taking these fellas forever.
Yo, are we doing that boot and stuff?
I guess because we got some food here too. If the Bills made one more kind of splashy move, who would you see as a player fit? I don't know how much more they are going to do. I don't really know how much more they need to do. The Bills are absolutely loaded. We also need shots. Where's the fireball?
I got the fireball here. Yeah,
okay.
I'll start pouring these up.
All right, we'll circle back to this. This is what we're waiting for.
Yes.
Nicole and Harold, shout out to the Gillen Waters for a $100 super chat. We also crossed 500 likes, so I'm going to take a shot.
Yep.
I'll need a shot. Oh, you
I got them.
there?
I got them
Cool.
all here. I'm pouring them up.
And then Trace is going to do are you doing the boot?
No, Trace is doing a beer bong.
Where is TJ?
TJ's doing the boot. Nice.
All right. Hey, that's good to see. $100 super chat.
Good Lord.
Appreciate that.
It is.
All right, here's
bloody.
a super. Skull. They have 3 players named Harrison. That's what I'm. Oh, I see what you're saying.
How many shots are we doing?
Because all the
1,
Harrisons.
2,
That's
Trace
good
will
catch
take
there.
one.
Devo Miller. It's a
Marshall.
great name, Skull. Shout out to my mother for picking
Devo's
it.
back. What up, man?
Is it just me, or is there not enough talk that the Vikings might get a QB in the draft? They drafted Mond, but do they believe in Mond? Zimmer hated Mond.
Yeah.
We know that.
Mike,
Devo,
are you going to give Kellen Mond some reps this week? No. Is he going to play? No. Why? Because I see him every day in practice.
and
That's a body.
He's our 3rd-string quarterback. I do think Minnesota could take a quarterback in the 2nd round.
Is yours?
I could see that.
We'll bring TJ on here in a bit to do that Das boot.
Yeah,
for Nicole and Harold
Let's
Gillenwater.
answer this one from Jai Johnson, then we'll go full screen with Trizzy Trace. After Jerome, actually. We can go Jerome.
Can I get my
Any merit to these Patrick
shotgun?
Peterson, Tyrann Mathieu to Philadelphia rumors? Have you seen this, Chase? Tyrann Mathieu, Patrick Peterson to the Eagles?
I saw the Patrick Peterson rumors because Hassan Reddick is trying to kind of recruit him to come to Philadelphia.
Okay.
It's a little bit old for me, though. So I'd rather go Tyrann Mathieu because you have Rodney McLeod is a free agent.
Yep.
Really good player and has been for a long time. Tyrann Mathieu would be an upgrade and would help Philadelphia's timeline of trying to break through that threshold of being that rebuilding team last year that during a rebuild still made it to the NFL playoffs, but they're trying to get to that next step.
Yep, no doubt about it. All right, one more here, then Trace is going to chug. Watson is stalling. Saints need to move on. Why would they move on? They've gone this far. You're not going to – dude, that is yeah. That's okay, I gotcha. Look,
Trace,
you're all
put it right
the
here.
Saints have gone all in, Jerome. They're going to wait this out. And they can wait it out, Chase, because no other QB dominoes are falling until Watson chooses. So it doesn't matter how long they wait.
Exactly.
All right, here we go. Trace is coming on. I'm taking a shot. Are you taking a shot for 500 as well?
Yes, I have a shot here. Marsh, a shot is here for you.
Marsh, get in here. Ripping.
Tyler, the Das Boot is ready
Is he
and
going to
cold
the
for you.
Saints? Trizzy Trace. He wants to replace 9 with 4. That's what he's hoping for.
Is TJ just locked in back there?
There you go.
He is locked in, man.
All right. Well,
okay.
Marsh can take a shot later. Cheers,
TJ
boys.
will do the Das
Day
Boot here in a
5?
little bit. Cheers.
Day 5?
NFL free agency. I also said I was going to shotgun, too, for that $100 super chat. Don't worry. TJ, shots, and then if he's – okay, cool.
He's doing some work.
Yeah, he'll
get
do
in
his
here.
work. And
Are you taking a shot now? All right, come on. Yeah, he can take another. I'll take another one. Pour me up. Oh, God.
a little explosion there.
Yeah, it's that foam.
Poor Marsha, or poor you got
Go
your
pour
shot.
me
Here's
a shot,
Here, I got
Fireball.
you. Here's yours.
Oh.
Hot seat back there.
Hot seat. Yikes. Cheers.
Cheers for the $100 super.
And cheers for
Day
day
5.
5.
NFL
Let's ride.
free agency.
This
Nonstop
This
coverage.
is the start of a long day.
Here we go.
For those of you who don't know, Marshall Green was live on the Raiders Report with Mitchell Renz as his co-host last night until about 1:15 in the morning. So he's been grinding.
Yeah, he has.
Call him a grinder here at Chat Sports. A grinder. Okay, Robert Cisneros Has anyone done a wellness check on Tom Downey? He's off today. I think he did a video from home on Leighton Vander Esch.
Yeah.
So you can go check that out, youtube.com/CowboysTV. He's been in shambles, but as far as wellness check goes, Mitchell Renz is probably in worse shape. So
he still came in today, though.
But he still came in
So did
because
Marsh.
you got to be built
So did
different
James. So did I.
I was up at home with
here
you
late
guys.
night, too. You
I
guys
was up
were
at
up,
home.
too.
It was a marathon, man.
It really was.
We're built different. Hey, it's not a miracle, though, because we're built different. Major Pain,
different.
appreciate the $5 sticker. That's a beer's cheers. Cheers to you.
My goodness. Polish off this yinger.
Yeah, let's keep this puppy humming. Keep liking the video. We'll do every 500 likes, so once we get to 1,000 likes, we'll take another shot. So like this video.
Let's go Titans.
Let's go Titans, Cuck. $100 super chat person.
No rush.
What are their names again?
Nicole and Harold Gillenwater.
The Gillenwaters.
And then the other one.
We will do that boot. Tyler's going to come in and do that boot chug when he gets a second.
Problem was the other one.
He's doing some work.
Already did that boot.
Hang with us.
Yep. A lot of work to do here.
It's week 2 for him at Chat Sports, so he's grinding over there. So we'll get him on in a second.
Jack, no rush.
We're gonna get to some other stuff here in a second, but
great.
Continue to like the video. Let's take a look at March Madness, Chase. I'm gonna refresh my feed here, see what's going on in the NCAA tournament as NFL free agency is slowed down just a bit. Auburn 71-56 over Jacksonville State. That one has less than 5 minutes to go. Looks like the Tigers going to move on. The 2 seed there. Texas Tech. This is just a bloodbath against Montana State. 52-22.
Yikes!
Almost at halftime. Purdue, the 3 seed, 37. The 14 seed Yale, 26. And then just going final about 10 or 15 minutes ago, Ohio State, the 7 seed, takes down Loyola Chicago. If you remember last year, Chase, Ohio State lost as a 2 seed to Oral Roberts, who went on that magical run to the Sweet 16.
But Kentucky going down last night.
Yeah,
man.
St. Peter's.
Inexcusable.
St. Peter's. Look, Calipari is an elite recruiter. I'm not saying he's a bad coach, but he is an overrated coach.
He is an overrated coach.
Still a good coach, but he is overrated. We have to acknowledge that. Oh well.
That's not a problem, Jackie.
Hey, get to 8.
Yeah, just get to 8.
Yeah, we're gonna get to 8.
No,
we'll be
no
good.
rush, Jack.
We'll be good.
Let's ride. That's fine. Do your thing.
We're good.
I'll give some shout-outs to those watching on the 49ers Report.
Cool.
Brian Gundo, Niner for life. Danny Krinkle, he said mini shots. They weren't mini shots, nor was the shotgun and soon to be
mini shots. These are like doubles.
They're double shots.
These are massive.
Nor is the boots with 3 beers in it that Tyler Jones will do here in a little while mini either. Fabian Perez, Brian Gundo, what up, man? I see the emoji.
Someone says Harrison is clustered and confused.
I don't think so. There's just a lot going on because we don't take commercial breaks here.
Yeah, we're skull fucking competition. That's all I know. Yeah, we're ready to go here. So day 5 of free agency. We're built different here at Chat Sports as we're about to get into some Titans stuff very, very soon. Oh, this is interesting. Lucas Patrick on Justin Fields. He's got it. The it factor. Bears fans going to eat that one up. There's no doubt about that. All right, we're ready to go here, Jack?
Yes, sir. Let's
ride.
All right,
let's get into it. Continue to like the video. Once we get to 1,000 likes, we will take a shot. That is our promise to you. All right, here we go. He's Chase Sr. I am Harrison Graham. Appreciate everybody who's been tuning in to our NFL free agency coverage here on Chat Sports. We do it because we love you guys, the fans. On today's show, we're going to get you guys caught up on everything surrounding the Tennessee Titans' latest news and rumors. And Chase, this kind of emerged as a possibility last night. Robert Woods, could the Titans trade for him? Well, after the Rams signed Allen Robinson, Adam Schefter reports that Robert Woods could become available on the trade market.
It's a really good wide receiver who, prior to getting hurt last year, was having a spectacular season. I love his versatility. He can play outside, inside. This is what Adam Schefter had to say after signing Allen Robinson today. Rams begin receiving calls about the availability for Robert Woods, who is now a prime trade candidate per league sources. Woods is coming off the torn ACL, but is expected to be ready by training camp. Spectacular route runner. I talked about him being an outside-inside guy, great hands, good missability after the catch as he could pick up some yards. And the reason that we're talking about Robert Woods, you paid big money last year to Julio Jones. Harrison, that's a move that didn't work out. You paid him around $14, $15 million, and you let him go. So now you have a void to fill at wide receiver, and you need to bring in another complementary piece next to A.J. Brown, and you combine that on top of the fact that you have Ryan Tannehill, who's about a middle-tier quarterback and has shown he could play very good football when surrounded with really good pieces. You enter Robert Woods into the fold alongside A.J. Brown and with Derrick Henry, with a good offensive line, a spectacular defense, the most underrated head coach in the National Football League in Mike Vrabel for the defending number 1 seeded Tennessee Titans in the AFC, he could really add a lot to this offense.
Look, Robert Woods, if you bring him into the fold, that's a really good recovery from moving on from Julio. I respect the Titans' aggressiveness last offseason to bring Julio in there. He couldn't stay healthy. He's had some injury-riddled years over the past couple of years. But I actually think Robert Woods, who is also coming off an injury, a torn ACL, if healthy, could actually be a better fit in Tennessee. Why? Well, we know Julio at this point, 33, injuries pop up for him too. What is Robert Woods really good at? He's an excellent route runner, runs those deep crossers. I think that fits Ryan Tannehill's skill set as a weapon next to A.J. Brown, who's going to draw a lot of attention moving forward in this offense. And I think Woods is like the textbook number 2 receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
Good route runner, gets open, catches everything, QB's best friend. This is a really good player. Before last year, he had a couple of really good years in a row as the Rams deserve a lot of credit for kind of developing him, because early on in his career, people were calling him a bust. And then, heading into last season, people were calling him a top 20, top 25 receiver in the NFL. You bring him in here, A.J. Brown has risen to wide receiver 1 status in the National Football League. He's your 2. You got Derrick Henry pounding the rock.
Yeah.
This offense recovers very, very nicely after having to move on from Julio Jones. So what do you guys think? Should the Titans trade for Robert Woods? Type Y for yes, type N for no. And real quick, what do you think a trade looks like for Woods? Second-round pick?
I would deal a
Third?
second-round pick for Robert Woods.
Yeah.
He's under an affordable contract
still
because
under
the salary
30.
cap continues to go up, and I think he's a really good player.
Type Y for yes, type N for no. Should Tennessee trade for Robert Woods? Now, obviously, we won't spend a lot of time on this, but Davante Adams, a big-name receiver, if you were hoping for some pipe dream to trade for him, that's not going to happen, as he has been traded to the Las Vegas Raiders. He's now in the AFC, so potentially Tennessee will have to face him a little bit more frequently now as we move forward. First and a second-round pick for Adams, which isn't that much, so when you're thinking about a guy like Robert Woods, Chase, I think just a second, maybe even a third, maybe a third and a fourth or something like that could get it done for a guy coming off an injury.
Yeah, you would think that's about really the road there in a potential trade. Yeah, but, for Tennessee, I'm a believer in this football team. I'm a believer in John Schneider and how he's built the roster. I'm a huge believer in Mike Vrabel. I think the Tennessee Titans can be a consistent winner. Last year, look, fluky game against the Cincinnati Bengals in the NFL playoffs. You had that number 1 seed, and Evan McPherson, you're still drowning in your sorrows after watching that kick go through the uprights. But it was a weird game, especially at the end with how Ryan Tannehill threw that pick, and then Joe Burrow leads them down the field, gets a couple of yards for that field goal. The Titans are in a good spot, Harrison, and I'm a believer in this team moving forward, and I think that they're going to be contenders once again in the AFC next year.
Look, you get a bounce back here from Tannehill, you're going to be
That's
in a
what you
good
need.
spot.
Yeah.
This is why you subscribe to Tennessee Titans Today here by Chat Sports on YouTube, youtube.com/Titans Today if you're watching on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel as we roll along here on day 5 of NFL free agency. Listen, producer Jack has been grinding. He has a ton of responsibilities here at Chat Sports. He's also in charge
Straight
of our
up
Titans
killing
channel.
the game, dude.
Killing the game. Titans news, rumors, free agency coverage, trade buzz, live Q&As. He's got it all covered. YouTube.com/Titans Today. When the Titans make moves, we cover it, just like when we covered the Julio Jones news, Chase, when he obviously got released the other day as a post-June 1 designation, and that's why the Robert Woods trade rumors have circulated.
Yeah, because you let go of Julio, and now you need another wide receiver, and you just didn't get what you paid for Julio Jones. You didn't get what you expected, but you kind of saw this coming, because he was on that downward trajectory, Harrison. I mean, he had a couple of elite years there in 2015 and 2016 with Kyle Shanahan. He's had an NFL Hall of Fame caliber career, but the production has gone down and the injuries have gone up for Julio Jones, and that was part of the risk. That was part of the gamble that you were wagering when you made that trade for Julio. Now, you gave up a second-round pick for Julio, and You paid him a lot of money. It didn't work out, but now that's why you make the trade for Robert Woods if you're interested in going that route.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear Titans need a wide receiver too now. And by the way, let me just mention this. I think the gamble is absolutely worth it for Tennessee. It didn't work out with Julio.
Robert Woods is a better player right now than Julio Jones.
Yeah, but I'm saying when they traded for Julio, that was worth it. Yeah. It didn't work, but like Tennessee felt like they might be one big player away from winning a Super Bowl. Who knows? If Julio's healthy last year, maybe that team goes on a run. They won the regular season in the AFC. They were the #1 seed, so this is not a team that is super far off from playing in a Super Bowl. You replace him. You continue to rely on Derrick Henry. You hope Ryan Tannehill bounces back after a down year after 2 excellent years the years before. I think we'll find out this year just how much of an impact Arthur Smith had on Tannehill. Can he figure things out under a new OC in year 2? If he can, then this team should be able to contend here in 2022. So grade the Titans' moves so far. A, B, C, D, or F. Let us know down in the comments section. And real quick before we end this Titans segment here, Chase, these are kind of some of the free agent receivers we're talking about here. If you don't want to trade for a Robert Woods, you still have good names out there. JuJu, I like Jarvis Landry. Emmanuel Sanders still has a little bit something left. Will Fuller's risky with the injuries, but when he's healthy, he can take the top off of defense.
Jack, great job by you. Great idea with this graphic. JuJu, Will Fuller, Jarvis Landry, Emmanuel Sanders, Jamison Crowder. You look at these players right here. All different skill sets. You have a slot wide receiver in JuJu. You have a vertical threat in Will Fuller. Another slot in Jarvis Landry, who has had more production than JuJu in recent years, although coming off some injuries last year. Emmanuel Sanders, quick but older. And then Jamison Crowder, I think is somewhat underrated. You know who else is available? Odell Beckham Jr. Now, was able to revive his career with the Rams last year. A lot of people thought he was cooked, and he made Baker Mayfield look bad by going to the Rams and putting up monster numbers. But I think OBJ can still play. The concern, 2 ACL injuries in that same knee. How does he come back off those 2 surgeries? And as he continues to get older, look, he's had some injuries as well, and the Titans may be a little bit scared of that because of the Julio Jones saga.
The concern isn't just the 2 ACLs; it's also the when's he going to be back from
exactly
this
right.
one.
Yeah,
like there's reports saying
happened in the Super Bowl.
There's reports saying he may not be ready till November. Hell, some guys recover differently. With this being the second one, it's possible he doesn't play this year.
Yeah.
So all of that factors in if you're the Tennessee Titans. So name a player the Titans should sign. Obviously, receiver the focus here on today's show. And also, don't forget to subscribe, youtube.com/Titans today. All right, get a couple of shout-outs here, and then Jonesy going to come in here and chug the boot. He's ready to rock and roll here at Chat Sports as we promised the Gillen Waters. Let's go ahead and flash it back up.
Come in here, TJ.
Get in here, Jones.
Let's ride.
Get in here,
He's
Jones.
doing the Das Boot. 3 beers and 1 boot.
Shout out again to Nicole.
You know what's
and
cool,
Harold.
too? He's drinking the boot while wearing the boot.
Yeah. Yes.
I got a snake in my boot. Here we go,
we'll
TJ in the
here.
building.
Tyler Jones, one of our newest members here at Chat Sports. He's ready to go. He's done this once before.
I think people are convinced at this point all I do around here is just do alcohol challenge.
well, soon you're going to be on air and you're going to kill the game doing that, and then people are going to realize TJ, tank, beer drinker, and he's got some football knowledge as well. Rock chalk.
So here we go.
There we go.
He's a Kansas alum. He's pulling for the Jayhawks in the tournament.
You want to be timed on this? All right, I got you.
Oh, yeah, let's time it. Here. All right, let's ride.
3 beers and 1 boot.
Here we go.
We're going to time TJ. All right, so on the count of 3, 2, 1, go, that's when we'll start. All right? Nicole Harold Gillenwater, you ready? People watching on Chat Sports, you ready? Chat Sports, Das Boot, Tyler Jones. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, here we go. Chug in the chat. Chug.
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 Chug. Chug. Chug. Chug. Chug. Chug, 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 chug.
He's going.
20 seconds in.
That's pretty good. Can
Making good progress.
Can he do under 45 seconds? Let's find out. Where are we at, Chase?
He's not even taking a break.
Oh,
we're approaching 30 seconds.
He is a tank.
TJ, live here on Chat Sports.
Chug.
Das Boot. 3 beers.
Chug.
In 35 seconds. 36. Done! 36 seconds for TJ. Do we need a trash can? Woo! Wow. My man.
Any
killed the game.
Any final words?
Any final words here, TJ?
I feel gassed.
Well, we'll let Jones recover. as he just put in some work on that beer
Good
chug.
shit, brother.
Willie Betts, you may have to prove your chugging skills later on. As Tyler Jones and Will Scott, two of our newest employees. You guys haven't seen Will much yet, but
keep some petrol left in the gas tank because we're going hard later too.
Yeah,
let's ride.
Yeah, load up. There he goes. Tyler Jones exiting stage left. What, 37 seconds or so?
36 exactly.
All right.
36 seconds for TJ.
That's pretty good. That's pretty darn good. All right, $5, which means bottoms up. Matthew to the Dolphins, best defense. I would like that, man. You put him in that secondary with Xavier Howard and Byron Jones.
Man,
they've
been aggressive so far in free agency. Why stop now?
Calculated.
Why stop now?
Calculated aggressive moves, though.
RK, I got a snake in my boot. Classic movie, by the way. One of my favorite growing up.
Yes.
One of the best, actually, let me say this. Pixar best movie of all time. It's Toy Story. It's Toy Story. Lion King?
Lion King.
It's not Pixar.
Oh, it's
Disney. It's Disney, right?
It's all
Jack,
the same.
You're the movie expert. Hop on the mic.
Hop on the mic.
Lauderay Films, YouTube channel popping.
Best Disney and then best Pixar.
1,000 subs.
I want to hear
best Pixar movie ever.
Best Pixar is Monsters, Inc.
Okay, best Disney.
Disney?
Where is Toy Story? Number 2?
You've done a rankings video,
I did a ranking, but it was like last August, so I don't remember. Toy Story's out there, though.
Best Disney movie. Take Pixar out of it.
Oh, damn. Probably The Lion King. I mean, I'd have to look back at Disney movies.
Funny story. You guys want me to tell a funny story about me and The Lion King? When I was a kid, I love Harry's story. When I say kid, I'm talking like age 2 to 4, 2 to 5. I'm talking like really, really young.
Really young?
Like exiting baby status and then also, onto, really early childhood. I loved The Lion King. I loved it so much that my parents bought me one of those TVs that had a VCR in it.
That's awesome.
If you're old enough to know that. And I was able to teach myself how to just start the movie over, and I would just watch it all day. I've seen that movie probably 200 times.
That's how I was with Toy Story. I used to sleep with like a toy Woody and Buzz Lightyear, and I remember waking up one morning, I saw Woody on the ground, and I was like, he's actually alive. He is real.
That's what we do.
Santa, I know him.
Disney's the best.
Finish it off, Petey.
Disney's the best. Let's go to the next super chat here. Vibing with the dogs. Hey, that's what you're doing right now. Hi, Harrison. Hi, Chase. Hey, what's going on? Appreciate everybody rocking and rolling with us. Day 5 of NFL free agency. Keeping you guys up to date with the latest news, rumors. That's why you subscribe. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. That's also why you follow us on Rumble. Rumble.com/NFL Daily Chase. We've partnered up with them. More NFL news and rumors content over there, plus some occasional exclusive content. Our Chat Sports audience needs to give us a follow, rumble.com.
Yeah, I'm looking over at Rumble. 1,100 subscribers already, which is awesome. You plug in that link, hit that green subscribe button. In the chat right now on Rumble, I'm seeing M. Ramzan19. It's good stuff by you for supporting everything that we're doing here on the channel. And then Bad Horsey, also in the comment section on Rumble, too.
Bad Horsey. Love it. By the way, did you know Jameer Nelson Jr. was playing in the NCAA tournament?
Yes, he plays for Delaware.
I did not know that.
Yep.
That's good
Jameer
stuff.
Nelson's son.
All right. That's right.
What's the score of that game?
It's about to tip off, I believe, or it just did.
Okay.
With Villanova, right? Yeah, it's about to tip off.
Okay, cool.
Kind of getting into that.
We can do a little score update for the
here we go. We're at halftime. Let's
you got
hit the
that?
Yeah.
All
Final
right, cool.
score from earlier. Ohio State, the 7th seed, takes down Loyola Chicago. 54-41, so no Sister Jean magic this year. Just went final moments ago. The 2-seeded Auburn Tigers take down Jacksonville State 80-61. Purdue, the 3-seed, leads Yale 46-33 at halftime. And then also at halftime, Texas Tech 52-25 over Montana State as the Red Raiders look to continue success they've had in the NCAA tournament in recent years. Okay, shout out your favorite team. We'll play a little game. Going to count down from 10 this time. I'll count down from 10, and the first team that I see when I look at the chat, which is right here, I will pick. So I'm going to count myself down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
What do you got?
49ers, actually.
All right, 49ers.
We're live on the 49ers report.
Hey, youtube.com/49ers TV. Already $200 in super chats. We get another $100 super chat. Somebody else is going to do the Das Boot. $50, I'll shotgun a beer.
I'll tell you this. In addition to someone doing another $100 in super chat, if we get another one, I'll do a beer bong.
You do a beer
bong?
I'll
do a claw bong. How about that?
Let's go.
100 piece, I'm doing a claw bong.
$100 super chat. I shotgun a beer. Harrison, beer bongs,
I'll do it for 50,
claw.
actually. Since you're doing
50?
You're doing for 50, I'll do it for
50 each.
Got to be built different.
Harrison, beer bongs, a claw, and shotgun a beer.
Oh, there's a 20. I'll tell you what, Cujo.
Let's do some shots.
Cujo, since you just sent in a 20, if you send in 30 more in the next 30 seconds,
there we go.
We will honor that as a 50 piece.
There we go.
If not, we'll take a shot for that.
Let's
it's
go.
$20.
Yes.
So we'll go ahead and do that.
Either way, we'll take a shot.
Yeah, either way, we're taking a shot. Yeah, bios is perfectly fine on those. Yep. In the copy. Yep. Okay, so 20 more seconds or so. I'll give Cujo. If it comes in, we'll honor that. If not, Chase will pour out some shots, and we'll take a shot. And that certainly works as well. Let's play this game one more time, Chase. So why don't you blindly pick a team here, and we'll talk about them.
I will.
3, 2, 1, go.
Hold on. I got to pop over onto our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. I'm seeing the Denver Broncos.
Ah, Denver again, eh? DJ Jones, Russell Wilson trade.
Yeah. DJ Jones, good signing. Emerging player. Randy Gregory. Yep. And Russell Wilson. Like, I thought it was funny how a lot of Broncos fans were like, what are the Broncos doing? They haven't made many moves. They made the biggest move. $50 super chat just came in on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. Bang, bang.
Woo!
Let's go.
Trace, get the beer bong in here. I'm doing a claw piece.
I need the shotgun, so get one of those ready as well.
Got to be built different. Cujo. So this is a shot for Cujo now, Chase.
Shot for Cujo.
Do you have do a non-chair? I want to save these. Do a non-chair. You can do a warm one. Yeah. Cujo, one offensive player and one defensive player the Chargers should sign and draft. I think the Chargers could use another offensive lineman. They lost Casey Hayward's been gone 2 years actually. I like offensive line. Honestly, you know what the Chargers need? They need a reliable tight end. They didn't really replace
Hunter. Shot too?
They didn't really replace Hunter Henry last year, Cujo. So that's a spot I would go on that front.
You didn't do it? Okay.
Midwest Boxing next up here as Chase gets organized. I hope Ballard gets not fired. Not for QB issues because he doesn't use free agency enough. I'd sign JC, Beasley, Fuller, and Armstead. I don't know who you mean by Jadeveon Clowney. Maybe who you mean for JC here? Maybe Cole Beasley, Teron Armstead. Yeah. That'd be a haul. There's no doubt about that. And cheers, because that's a sip. J.C. Jackson's already gone, if that's who you're talking about.
Thomas B., the Bears guy, is here. Yes, that's Barrison Graham.
Hey, support. Here we go. Letterhead movement. Here's the 50 piece. Let's make it happen, fellas. The 49ers go after another corner.
Did you take that shot yet?
No, I haven't.
All right, Trace, come on here. We'll take the shots for that $20 super chat.
We got to answer this. Oh, yeah, we'll take a shot.
Yes.
Cheers.
Yeah. Shot for that 20.
Cheers.
Trizzy.
Cheers,
brother.
In there.
Okay. Now, do we got to answer letterhead movement first?
Yep. You take it. It's Niners.
Yeah, let's make it happen, fellas. Do the 49ers go after another cornerback in NFL free agency?
Probably a cheap guy if they do, right?
I'm actually not sure if the Niners are going to address cornerback on top of already signing Charvarius Ward. I think they really fulfilled that need there. They signed Charvarius Ward, $14 million per year. I think it's a really good deal for San Francisco. If he ends up being your number one corner at that price tag, when
49ers
J.C.
just signed a player.
Who'd they sign?
Safety George Odom, 3 years, $11 million. Former Colts safety.
Okay.
So
we could probably get that cut going.
Yeah, we can do that. We'll do that. We're going to break that down here in a moment. But the 49ers have signed a safety. That's probably your Jaquiski Tart replacement, right?
Could be.
I mean, $11 million on 3 years, that's not high-end money, but that's
decent money.
That's probably a starter, or at least a guy that competes for a starting job.
Yeah, so letterhead movement, to answer your question, hey, they didn't go cornerback. They did go safety. Does that mean that Jaquiski Tart's going to go elsewhere? There's that possibility. Talanoa Hufanga also filling in at that safety spot. As far as corner goes, Manuel Mosley, you have Charvarius Ward, and now you have Ambry Thomas. 3 players who are very good in your secondary who I think that's the making of a good secondary. You need some depth pieces. I wouldn't be opposed to going back to Jason Verrett coming off the torn ACL if he can still play. You compare him to a player like Richard Sherman, Drake Kirkpatrick, who they signed last year. I'd rather go the Verrett route. I think, though, they go cornerback in the NFL draft. Yeah. I'm looking at a couple of DBs, maybe even safety. Jaquan Brisker, Penn State. Jalen Petre out of Baylor. Couple of safeties to keep an eye on.
Here's some numbers on George Odom real quick.
Yep.
Played in all 17 games last year. 7 starts, so fringe safety 2-3 type. He can be your second safety. Can start, though.
Yeah.
55 tackles, 1 interception, couple of pass breakups, a forced fumble as well. So does a little bit of everything. Probably going to give you some special teams help as he's still just 28 years old. 4 years with the Colts. He was a undrafted free agent, it looks like. So a guy that Matt Eberflus identified, I would guess, in Indianapolis. And now he's heading to San Francisco.
All-pro special teamer. So it's yet another special teams move for the Niners.
And can start at safety. Started 7 games last year.
Yeah.
So this could be your safety, too.
Let's do a couple
do you want to do this chugging stuff first? Or
we did have a $50 super chat come in on Niners from Daryl McCollum.
I said I was going to do a
we're going to have to – let's do this cut first, and then we'll get to those super chats. Does that work out well?
We got to get the tracker
Got to get the tracker. All right. Well, in the meantime, how about I just shotgun another beer for Daryl, and then I'll shotgun that beer for that other super chat that we had gotten on our main Chat Sports
I can do
YouTube
the
channel.
bong after the cut.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
Because the main one came in from Letterhead Movement. We answered that question. Here is a shotgun for Letterhead Movement as well as Daryl McCollum. Can we pop up the Daryl McCollum super chat just to show him some love real quick? We can stay on this a little while because he asked what the next move is, and they've gone out and they've added a safety to the equation. Harrison just got done breaking it down a little bit. According to Ian Rappaport, Daryl McCollum, the 49ers are signing former Colts all-pro special teamer and safety George Odom. It's going to be a 3-year deal worth $10.95 million, and we'll react live to it here on the 49ers Report by Chat Sports as these super chats continue to come in. Daryl, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm going to get this ready. Harrison, take it away.
By the way, that's like high-end special teams player, low-end starting defensive or offensive player caliber. So this could be a guy that competes for a starting job on defense and is for sure going to be an elite player in your secondary. We'll find out if it's a starting safety or not. But if nothing else, it gives you insurance for losing Jaquaski Tart. No doubt about that. So here he goes. He's going to shotgun 2 beers here. Here he goes. Here's number 1. Oh, about 3.5, 4 seconds there. That's good stuff.
I'll do the other one a little bit later.
He'll do the other one. How about this? You'll shotgun, and I'll do the beer bong or the claw bong a little bit later on.
Woo!
So stay tuned for that. Fellas behind the scenes doing great work, helping us get these cuts out. Half on the new
Odom
signing and then just
and
hit
Jack,
stuff.
you have all of that other stuff at your
stuff.
disposal with the graphics from the Ray McLoud.
Do you like a grade the signing or something like that as this first way?
We have that.
Early sub.
And we have tracker, and getting to 8 won't be a problem.
Tie in Charvarius Ward. He's a secondary piece. It all works. So
we'll play your bio for him or something like that.
We'll get to 8.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Appreciate the $50, Daryl. You are awesome. A lot of super chats coming in today. Ooh, DJ Moore 4-year extension. So Carolina keeping one of their key guys. Also, Jordan Schultz reported, Chase, that Jason Pierre-Paul should be one of the next edge rushers to sign.
Interesting.
We'll see where he ends up. You got to think he's leaving Tampa, right? Like, Tampa can't keep everybody.
You would think.
At some point, they're going to have to let people go, and you would think that he could get more money elsewhere. So we'll monitor all that. We're about to get into the latest on the San Francisco 49ers after they just made a signing. We'll get you caught up on some other moves they have made as well.
Yeah, give some shout-outs here for a second.
Some shout-outs. Is there a rumor that you want to tie into this that you're intrigued by?
Not really.
Robert Woods? If you want to, it's up to you.
Shoot. Sure.
This signing plus Woods trade?
Yeah.
We've got all that
just
stuff
give
built.
some shout-outs here for a sec. And,
I'll get some shout-outs. Chase is going to
order.
cook things up here. 2 weeks ago says, I'm a simp. You don't want to be a simp. Can't be having that. Watson to the Falcons coming from LL. We'll see. It's the Falcons or the Saints. We got, let's see, DJ ain't going anywhere. Yeah, DJ Moore just signed a 4-year extension, probably for about $60 to $80 million, I would guess. By the way, seeing some Lyle Collins stuff. No signing, but he is visiting Cincinnati. What's the latest signing? DJ Moore back to Carolina, so that we can break that one down for a little bit. Let's see. Go Birds and for T for Temple U.
Yeah,
hey,
T for Temple
there
U.
You go.
Let's go.
This guy keeps saying I'm a simp. You don't want that.
No.
You don't want that. LL Clueless says Chiefs in the chat. You can shout out your favorite team as Chase continues to get ready for this 49ers cut. DJ Moore, 4-year. Oh, wait, hold on. No. Panthers, Jack. Get this off screen. DJ Moore re-signing with Carolina. So we'll get that fixed. Not to Jacksonville. Re-signing with Carolina, 4-year deal. He was already under contract. Actually, it's an extension. He was already under contract. So 4-year extension. That's how that needs to be in the tracker.
So they're retaining one of their own.
Yeah, keeping him in Carolina. Obviously, Carolina was in the sweepstakes for Deshaun Watson, but they've been eliminated there. We'll see what they do at quarterback, but they're going to keep probably their top player on offense at this point with the injuries to Christian McCaffrey. I would say DJ Moore has ascended him as he stays in Carolina. 4-year extension. I would guess probably $16 to $20 million per year for DJ Moore. He's a really good player. Can do a variety of things offensively as he is staying with the Carolina Panthers. So stay tuned for that. Those details, as soon as we get them, we will get them to you. See what else is going on in the chat. I love sushi from Billy. Okay. Why Big Jordan says, yes, sir. Watson to the Jags. Not going to happen, Nick. Max value for George Odom, Chase, by the way, $10.95 million.
Very interesting.
So
I'm ready to rock.
It's a little bit less than $4 million per year, it sounds like. Kind of in that $3.5 million per range. So
cool.
We're good to go. Once Jack gives us the green light, we'll break down the signing for the 49ers and catch you guys up on everything else they've done. You good over there, pal? You good? You got this, bro. Yep. Cowboys news, they re-signed Leighton Vander Esch.
Interesting.
That's about it. So that's it on that front. Yep.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Let's do it. All right, here we go. Niners have made a signing.
I'll host this, John.
Yep, let's break it down.
Welcome into the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. He is Harrison Graham. Day 5 of NFL free agency is here, and the 49ers have made yet another move, and they've continued to add to their special teams unit. All-Pro George Odom going from the Indianapolis Colts to the San Francisco 49ers, according to Ian Rappaport, a 3-year, $10.95 million deal. Some incentives on top of that in terms of performance. But Harrison Graham, we're reacting to this live on NFL Daily on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. The 49ers continue to address special teams, which last year ranked 26th in the NFL. And this is a fringe starter safety who, in coming to San Francisco, this could spell the end of Jaquiski Tartt, depending on what his market is on the free agency market. Either way, Odom to the Niners as they continue to build that special teams unit under special teams coordinator Brian Schneider.
Yeah, here's what you're getting. You're getting a elite specialist, like you said, an all-pro, but a guy that can start for you as well as your safety too. Flexibility, can play some free, can play some strong. Started 7 games last year for Indianapolis. Matt Eberflus was really able to untap some of that potential in the back end of that secondary. He's now the head coach of the Bears, obviously. Had a pick, couple of pass breakups, good tackler, had 55, 6'1", 202. I think he frames out as more of a strong safety type.
Yeah.
Ideally, this is your safety 3, but like you mentioned, Chase, if Jaquiski Tartt lands elsewhere, you could probably live with Odom as your safety 2. Maybe you bring in another guy to be that safety 3. Maybe you bring in another guy of similar caliber to compete for that second safety job in this secondary. Either way, gives you some insurance for Tartt depending on what happens there, and he's going to be an elite specialist. And I like what the Niners are doing. Their biggest need on this roster was to just make the special teams unit better.
Yeah.
They've done that with some of the moves they've made in free agency.
Yeah, they had to address special teams, which was one of the worst units last year in the National Football League, but also they had to address the secondary. And I think it's really important for the Niners to really stack up some depth pieces here in that secondary, because when they started the year, the secondary was in a good spot at that cornerback position, and then some injuries happened, like to Jason Verrett. So you have to go out and sign a washed Dre Kirkpatrick and Josh Norman. those guys weren't good. Now, you fulfill that area of need by bringing in Charvarius Ward, who we'll talk about a little bit more here coming up. So you address cornerback. He can be your number one at $14 million average annual value. I like the value. You bring back Emmanuel Mosley. He really had a stellar season this past year. Ambry Thomas is your cornerback 3. And let's say that Jaquiski Tartt goes somewhere else. And I thought he had the best year of his career this past year. You can fill that void with a combination of maybe Odom, maybe Talanoa Hufanga, who blew a lot of people away as a special teamer, linebacker, and safety last year as a rookie. But I do think that the Niners could still bring back Jaquiski Tartt because I don't think he's going to demand that much money on the open market. The figures here are pretty interesting, though. Kind of like Oren Burks, as well as Ray McCloud. The Niners have been paying anywhere between $3 and $5 million per year for some of these special teams players. That goes to show you their team philosophy behind what they're doing with some of these moves. Grade the move for us in the comment section, Niner Gang, as we're also live on the 49ers Report. A, B, C, D, or F. What do you think about Odom to the Niners? Let us know in the comment section, and do that right now. Harrison, what do you think about the signing? I know you said you kind of liked it.
Yeah, I like it because it helps fill your need on special teams. I think the Niners want a top 10 special teams unit. It's been bottom 10 the last couple of years. Robbie Gould's been good at kicker, but, returning coverage units, that's got to improve. And that contract of 3 years, just under $11 million, that's kind of right in the range of you're paying good money for a special teamers, low-end money for a starter. So if he does give you some starting run, even if it's just part-time starter, that's really good value. If he's an elite specialist and doesn't start much, it's still pretty good value as well. So anything he gives you at safety is kind of a bonus for this team. I think it's a good move. I like what San Francisco's doing. Obviously, Chase, the big move elsewhere in the secondary came with Charvarius Ward. That's going to be the big splash signing of free agency, but you add Ward with all these minor moves, I think you're getting some good depth on this roster.
No, I agree, and included in that depth is a guy who we talked about in Charvarius Ward. Harrison, you cover the Kansas City Chiefs here at Chat Sports, and this is an emerging player who I really like his confidence. I like his swagger. I like the way that he approaches the game of football. I love his fearlessness, and I love the mental makeup. He really had a great year this past year with KC and was arguably their best cornerback.
Yep.
But in Week 17, he got burnt. He got toasted by Jamar Chase, and he didn't play well. Then he comes back in the AFC Championship game, defends Jamar Chase really well as T. Higgins. So the makings of the secondary, Jimmy Ward, outstanding safety. And on this entire defense, you're looking at a defense that has premier talent, but also depth pieces as well. Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead. We'll see what the opposite edge rusher is going to be at that linebacker spot. I think it's the best linebacking core in the NFL with Fred Warner, Azeez Al-Shire, who's coming back. He tweeted that out, as well as Dre Greenlaw. Then in that secondary, Ward, Mosley, and as well as Jimmy Ward, as the Ward 1-2 punch is going to be alive and well in the Bay. Everybody's been frustrated at the Niners not making a monster splash, but some of these types of moves on the peripheries, on the outer edges of that roster, important for these Super Bowl contenders. And I think Deebo Samuel, Nick Bosa, the moves to come, which are going to be those big splashes. Make sure you subscribe to the 49ers Report by Chat Sports, because ever since I took over after the NFL draft in April, we have been growing like crazy. Live shows every single week. Mailbags where we answer all of your 49ers news and rumors questions. When breaking news happens, we have you covered faster than anybody else. Daily videos covering San Fran Cisco, and we're red and gold till we're dead and cold.
By the way, I wanted to just propose this to you, but shifting off of the secondary here, could the 49ers get in on Robert Woods? Because there's been some chatter that they would like to add another receiver, especially on the outside. Good wide receiver 2 type. You put him opposite of Deebo Samuel. This is pretty intriguing. Maybe you throw Brandon Ayuk in the slot, or Samuel plays more slot because he can bounce around. Apparently, he's available via trade. Now, obviously, it's interdivision. Yeah. So it's a long shot, but what if the Niners make the best offer? It's happened before, interdivision trades. It's just worth kind of speculating as San Francisco continues to scour the market.
The funniest thing about these NFL rumors, people will say, oh, it's never going to happen. This is a crazy rumor. Look at everything that's transpired throughout the offseason so far. Did anybody expect the Russell Wilson trade to go down? Tom Brady to come out of retirement? The Washington Commanders are betting on Carson Wentz. Deshaun Watson was cleared legally. These things can happen, and an interdivision trade can happen. Now, do I think the Rams are going to trade away Robert Woods to the Niners? I don't know. And he's making a lot of money, and I don't think the Niners will be able to afford a player like that. Do they need to sign a wide receiver? Yes, but I think it's more in the form of a JuJu Smith-Schuster, a Jarvis Landry, a Julio Jones type, because Kyle Shanahan absolutely loves him.
Yep.
Robert Woods is making decent money. I think it's a good value deal. I just don't know if San Francisco can afford him. Should the 49ers trade for Robert Woods, a very good wide receiver and a premier talent? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Once again, Niner Gang, let us know in the comment section right now. Also, give us a follow on Rumble. We're growing to the platforms that you as the people use. That includes Rumble. Rumble.com/49erstv. If you want more 49ers videos and exclusive content, we go live and do videos over there. It's rumble.com/49erstv. That link in the comment section and the description of this video. All right, do some shout-outs here on the 49ers report.
Get to 8.
G-Rod, Angel Cake, that right there, clinic and easy money. Pest 78, Pedro, hopefully I pronounced that right, and Ken Art. Those are the people on the Niners report on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. Why Big Jordan, Smoke, Daniel, Caesar, No Cap, MJ, and Lil Dallas Cowboy. Appreciate all of you for chiming in and rocking and rolling with us here at Chat Sports.
We've got details on DJ Moore if you want to update this. It's actually a 3-year extension. I'm guessing a new 4-year contract. I believe he had 1 year left on his current deal. 3 years, $61.9 million. So he gets a tick more than Mike Williams and Chris Godwin on annual value. They got 3 years, $60 million. 3 years, $61.9. Guarantees 41.6. So Jack will update those numbers as Carolina keeps one of their own and DJ Moore cashes in. Now, I owe a claw bong. You owe a shotgun.
Yes.
So
another one.
Hey, you got to be built different.
Ooh, wow.
You got to be built different.
You know how yesterday we were talking about that 9-day bender?
We're about to
this
start.
is about to be that.
Or day 5 or 6.
This is day 5.
Oh, man. Hear those details, DJ Moore. Shout out producer Jack getting that cooked up quickly.
Hey, Jack, you want to go full screen to Harry? I'm going to use the bathroom. I'll get a beer for myself. I'll get you. Do you need a claw?
I need a warm one for the bong.
I'll get you a warm claw. Go to full
Sounds
screen
good.
Harry.
I just shout out your favorite
I'll
team. We'll play that game. We'll play the game.
Yeah, there you go.
While Chase is gone. There's the DJ Moore contract details. 3 years, $61.9 million. Honestly, do you want to just eat while you're off, and then I can swap out and eat? You can. I can. If you're hungry, if you're not hungry, you can hop. All right, hop back then. Hey, we'll keep it rolling. I didn't do it for. All right, so here's the deal. I'm going to count you down from 5, and then I'm going to give a pick a team that I see in the chat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Looking. Bears, actually. That's ironic enough. So, obviously the news of the day in Chicago, Larry Ogunjobi's contract falls apart as he failed a physical, suffered a foot injury in the AFC playoffs against the Las Vegas Raiders. Bears initially must have been comfortable with signing him, but then when they brought him into the building for a physical, he didn't pass it. So that 3-year, $40.5 million contract has been voided, and he is no longer there. Obviously, Chicago has signed Byron Pringle. Equinemius St. Brown has signed a couple of receivers. Lucas Patrick has signed. Nicholas Morrow has signed as well. So the Bears have made some moves, but their big fish, Larry Ogunjobi, that deal falls apart. Chicago also signed defensive tackle Justin Jones to a 2-year contract to help fill that void, but probably need some more help in the interior of that defensive line. All right, we'll play the game again. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Seahawks. All right. Seahawks were pretty active on the first day of free agency. Quandre Diggs, back. Will Dissly, back. I thought both were overpays, to be frank. You obviously trade Russell Wilson. Curious to see what happens at quarterback. Pete Carroll, spoke publicly and said, we love Drew Lock coming out of the draft. I don't know how I feel about that. DK Metcalf tweeted out, we got to chill with the Drew Lock slander, but hey, man, I trust my eyes, and it hasn't been great from what we've seen in Denver. We'll see what happens to Seattle if Drew Lock starts. Could they get in on Matt Ryan? If the Falcons trade for Deshaun Watson, could they go out and get a guy like Jameis Winston? Baker Mayfield. You got to figure out quarterback. We'll find out real quick what they're going to do with this football team. All right, we'll pick another team here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue to shout out your team, and I will pick the Buccaneers. Well, Jordan Schultz just reported that he, based on what he's heard, it sounds like Jason Pierre-Paul will make a decision soon on his future. So obviously that's a key defensive player for the Bucs. Tom Brady's back. Chris Godwin's back. We'll see if they bring back a guy like Ndamukong Suh. But yeah, they've been able to bring back the bulk of this roster. They brought in Russell Gage, who I think will replace Antonio Brown nicely. So those are all things that they've been able to do. Jordan Schultz also just reporting for you Browns fans out there. I don't know if Petey is filming a Browns. Chase, is Petey filming a Browns? Because something just came in. Browns have offered Clowney 2 years and $24 million. Maybe go check if he's filming Browns. Add that in there. Jordan Schultz reporting that 2-year, $24 million contract offer for Jadeveon Clowney. We will see what happens on that front. Cleveland hoping for a decision soon, he says. We can go ahead and keep talking about the Browns. Obviously, what happens with Baker Mayfield? He wants out. They requested a trade after he requested a trade after the Browns took a swing at Deshaun Watson. They did not get into the sweepstakes there as he is deciding between Atlanta and New Orleans. But listen, this is the team ready to win. They just need the right quarterback. If they trade Baker Mayfield, I would look at Cleveland to look at guys like Matt Ryan and potentially a couple other guys. I don't think they're going to get Derek Carr with the Raiders just getting Davante Adams. I think he's staying in Las Vegas, but Cleveland's got to figure out that quarterback position. All right, I'll pick another random team right now. The Cowboys. All right, let's talk about Dallas. So today, the Dallas Cowboys have traded or re-signed Leighton Vander Esch. Excuse me, not traded. They traded away Amari Cooper, which I didn't love because I think Cooper's a good player. He's gone. You lose Cedric Wilson as well. Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb going to be your top receivers as Gallup re-signed on a 5-year, $62.5 million contract. You lost Randy Gregory after that contract negotiation got screwed up somehow. D-Law's back, so that's good. But Lyle Collins has been cut. So overall, you tell me where the Cowboys have gotten better. I mean, they haven't added really anyone new. So I can't really say that they've gotten better. All right, let's pick another team here. Giants. Marshall Green covers the Giants here at Chat Sports, and they've obviously been pretty quiet. They hired their new head coach in Brian Dable, GM Joe Shane, and overall, that's a team that's looking to win right now, at least soon. Daniel Jones, is he going to be the guy? They signed Tyrod Taylor, so if Jones doesn't play well, they've got a quality backup. But overall, they've been pretty quiet. They also added Ricky Seals-Jones, and they cut Logan Ryan. Sounds like they're going to keep James Bradbury if they can't trade him. Vibing with the Dogs with the Super Chat. You think Matt Ryan goes to the Colts? That's his preferred destination. That makes a lot of sense. That's a team ready to win. They've got a good offensive head coach in Frank Reich. I think Matt Ryan, as his arm strength starts to kind of waver here, keeping him in a dome makes a lot of sense. AFC South too. So talking about 8 or 9 home games indoors at Lucas Oil Stadium. Road games against the Texans, Jags, and Tennessee Titans, all warm climate venues. You're talking about maybe only having to play a couple of cold, tough weather games per year. Makes a lot of sense. Obviously, come playoff time, if they make the playoffs, they'd have to potentially go into some tougher weather condition environments. But I still think Matt Ryan can play and can play at a high level. Touch pass with the Super, and by the way, I owe a sip for that last one. I'll have to crack open a new claw here. Talk about the Giants moves. Well, I just mentioned him, Ricky Seals-Jones. He signs. I think he's an intriguing tight end. I like the hire of Brian Dable and Joe Shane. I think that regime has a chance to work out. We'll see if Daniel Jones is the guy or not. They bring in Tyrod Taylor for some competition, or at least as a quality backup. I assume Jones will start. But if he struggles or has some injury issues, remember ended last year with a neck injury, then Taylor's ready to play. He's a clear upgrade from Mike Glennon and Jake Fromm two quarterbacks that had to play some down the stretch, and it was ugly for the Giants. What's not ugly is how much Chat Sports is growing, and part of our growth is expanding to other platforms like Rumble. You can give us a follow, rumble.com/NFL Daily, another video platform to watch our content, unfiltered access to myself, Chase, Tom, Mitch, and all of our great hosts and producers here at Chat Sports. Give us a follow, rumble.com/NFL Daily, for more NFL news and rumors coverage. If you're having a good time, like this video, hit that thumbs up icon. We'll have you guys covered throughout NFL free agency. We're almost 3 hours into day 5 of our free agency coverage. Chase Sr. going to hop back on here in a little bit. Yes, we still owe you a claw, Bong. He still owes you a shotgun, a beer. We'll get to all of that. But like the video, if you want us to take another shot, got to get to 1,000 likes. We're currently at 653, but we got 1,300 people watching live. So if someone likes the video, we will take another shot if we get to 1,000 likes. All right, Welke, has the Lions had the best free agency period in the North? They haven't done much. I like the DJ Chark move for Detroit. NFC North. Bears, obviously, they lose. Ogunjobi falls through, so I wouldn't call them winners. Packers are losers. They lost Davante Adams. Although I am okay with the Bears' minor moves they've made. We'll see what they use, how they utilize some of that money that's freed up now. And then you got Minnesota, who hasn't done much. Adam Thielen's back, so that's nice. So I guess Detroit hasn't been terrible. The NFC North has not done a ton. Ooh, excuse me, quite frankly. Favorite signing in free agency so far? Name one player that's your favorite signing up to this point. Let us know in the comments. Jack, if you want to grab your lunch, you can go for it. I'm good. I can give some shout-outs here. Oh, man. Yeah, we could just do that. We're just doing top FAs. Cool. Should we grab one for Maine? I know it's a pain. We probably should, though. We should get to 8. I could do one now, and then we could do top free agents. Well, let's do that. Just message, say, hey, Harrison's going to do a Q&A for Maine, and then Chase will hop back on for top free agents. Let's do that. Favorite signings so far, let us know in the chat. Von Miller, Randy Gregory, Hassan Reddick, Miles Jack, Russell Wilson. Rex says Tom Downey. Miles Jack from Anthony, Davante Adams from Levi. JTG says Christian Kirk. Lyle Collins to the Bengals. Hasn't happened yet, but he's hoping so. Matt Collins from Dwayne. Lil Mar says Von Miller. All of the Broncos signings. Yeah, the Broncos have made some good moves. Jakeem Grant. Yeah, I like Jakeem Grant to Cleveland. I think it's a sneaky good move. Cujo says J.C. Jackson. Casey Hayward from J-Storm. Joshua Peters says Eli Apple. Justin to the Chiefs. Justin Reed, yeah, that's a good move as well. A lot of good moves. Here's the deal. We're going to do a mailbag, so get your questions in. 2 ways to do it. If you super chat, that takes priority, but use hashtag NFL, or you can super chat to get your questions on the show. I'll answer your questions for the next 10 or 12 minutes here live on NFL Daily, so use hashtag NFL, or you can super chat. That way I can answer all of your questions. And then after that, Chase Sr. will hop back on, and we'll break down the top remaining NFL free agents. We good to go here, Jack? All right, hashtag NFL or super chat. We will answer all of your questions. You're watching NFL Daily by Chat Sports. I am your host, Harrison Graham. NFL free agency has been a whirlwind, but there's still a lot of big-name players out there. We'll answer all of your questions, free agency-related, draft, trade, whatever it is. We're going to answer it all here on Chat Sports, youtube.com/chatsportstv. I will answer all of your questions here on YouTube. Eli with a $5 super chat. We'll get to super chats first. Rank the AFC West after all of the changes as of right now. If I had to rank the AFC West, I'm still going to go Chiefs number 1. I'll go Broncos 2, Chargers 3, Raiders 4, but I think 1 through 4 could all be very tight, and I think all 4 teams at least have an opportunity to win this division, but someone has to prove they can beat the Chiefs in this division. It's still Kansas City's to lose, but all 4 teams are playoff caliber teams. It's going to be a bloodbath of a division. Another 5-piece from Vibing with the Dog. Appreciate that. I need Deshaun Watson to pick the Falcons, so hopefully the Bears can get Teron Armstead. Yeah, depending on when you're watching this, we're still on Deshaun Watson watch. But Teron Armstead would be a guy that the Bears would sign if Watson lands in Atlanta. Nathan Coyle, Cordero Patterson signing with the 49ers. That would be an intriguing piece for San Francisco. Now, they added Ray McCloud, who is kind of a gadget guy. Patterson's a little bit more than that. Obviously an elite kick returner, but he can give you some reps at running back. He can run some routes at wide receiver. Over 500 rushing and over 500 receiving yards this past season. Cordero Patterson is an impact player wherever he ends up signing. Richie Miller, better fit for the Eagles, Honey Badger or Bobby Wagner? Appreciate the super chat. Probably Bobby Wagner. Now, he's a little bit older, but I've thought for years now the Eagles need to invest in a quality linebacker. Bobby Wagner is that. He's going into the Hall of Fame. Maybe he's not quite at his peak, but he is still a very, very good player. Had a career high 170 tackles in 2021. Now, what is your guys' favorite signing so far in NFL free agency? Speaking of the Eagles, Hassan Reddick for 3 years, $45 million. One of the best value signings for a guy who's had double-digit sacks in each of the past 2 years. Let us know favorite signing so far in NFL free agency. Keep it moving here. Philly, what's the Eagles' next move? I don't know. I would have liked Miles Jack for them. He ends up signing in Pittsburgh. They could add another receiver, certainly. Could you get JuJu Smith-Schuster to stay in state, come over from Pittsburgh to Philadelphia? I think that'd be a nice piece. I don't think Jalen Reagor will be a number 2, number 3 receiver for this team next year. I don't even know if he'll make Philadelphia's roster. He's not been good through 2 seasons. But, yeah, receiver, you could add another piece in the secondary, a linebacker. Still some moves that Philadelphia could make. Vincent Sorletti, chances of the Steelers signing Tyrann Mathieu and Stephon Gilmore. It sounds like as we film this late on Friday, you guys might be watching this on Saturday, that Stephon Gilmore and the Raiders have some mutual interest. Tyrann Mathieu would be an interesting piece, though. He's been linked to Pittsburgh. You pair him with the rest of that secondary. That would be really, really interesting. That would be a dynamic duo at the safety position with him and Minkah Fitzpatrick. Zach Ilks, appreciate the question. Do you think the Jets trade for Robert Woods? Adam Schefter reporting that Robert Woods could be on the trade block after the Rams were able to sign Allen Robinson. So him to the Jets would be a really good weapon for Zach Wilson. They need more help on the outside. I would actually like this quite a bit, and I like the moves the Jets have made so far in free agency. You add Robert Woods, that's a pretty good haul this offseason. Make sure you guys subscribe to us here at Chat Sports. More NFL news, rumors, mailbags like this one, free agency and draft coverage. Free agency is still ongoing, believe me. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. The entire Chat Sports squad is ready to go throughout the offseason, so go ahead and subscribe. Vibing with the dog. Is it possible for the entire AFC West to make the playoffs? There's going to have to be an odd man out. It is actually possible with the third wildcard team. In theory, all 4 teams could make the playoffs, but I am aware that it is obviously a long shot. If I had to pick one team to be an odd man out, I'm still going to pick the Raiders because I think they have the 4th of 4 quarterbacks, even though I do like Derek Carr. Yeah, I would guess 3 make it and 1 team will not. We'll see who that team ends up being. Brian Cole with the super chat. FGB trading Adams to Las Vegas. Bear down. The Bears, great for the Bears. Hey, you don't have to face Davante Adams. That's a nice thing. For you Bears fans, get the bear downs flowing in the comments section. JTG streams. Do you think the Cardinals can get Julio or JuJu? That would be interesting. AJ Green, free agent. Christian Kirk obviously signed with Jacksonville, so the Cardinals presumably could use another receiver. Julio, if healthy, is intriguing. That's a team that still wants to win right now. Obviously, a lot of Kyler Murray drama this offseason, but if you can get him another weapon, that would certainly help. JuJu Smith-Schuster, I think, is a nice number 2. Get DeAndre Hopkins back and healthy. JuJu's your number 2. You got some pieces in the slot. Maybe Andy Isabella takes on a bigger role here in 2022. Now, we've partnered with Rumble, and all of our NFL content can be watched over there. We've been live all week long on Rumble as well. Rumble.com/NFL Daily. More NFL news, rumors, coverage, free agency, draft. We've got it all. Plus, some occasional Rumbles after hours content for you guys. Rumble.com/NFL Daily. We've got you guys covered throughout the NFL offseason. Go follow us over there. We've already surpassed 1,100 followers. Lil Mar, why did Zadarius Smith back out of the Ravens offer? As of Friday, I'm not really sure. Maybe he wants more money. Maybe there was language in the contract that he didn't like, a la Randy Gregory with Dallas. Maybe Green Bay's trying to bring him back. I'm not sure. And Green Bay could have money to do that now that they've traded Davante Adams. But we'll see where Zadarius Smith lands. He's certainly one of the top free agents that's still out there. What should my Falcons sign at wide receiver? I think Jarvis Landry makes sense if you get Deshaun Watson. It sounds like if Watson signs there, Landry is very interested. JuJu would be interesting. Calvin Ridley's probably not going to play this year unless he gets that suspension reduced. But, yeah, obviously Atlanta, they need wide receiver help. Time for a couple more. Dustin says, any moves you think the Chiefs need to make? I would still like another receiver, whether it's trading for Robert Woods or, maybe you sign Odell Beckham, understanding you're not going to have him until midseason. JuJu's been connected to the Chiefs for 2 off seasons in a row. I would like that. I still think you need another pass rusher, too. Maybe you bring back Melvin Ingram. Maybe you handle that in the first round of the NFL draft. I'm not sure. But those are a couple of areas I would monitor. Maybe a corner as well after losing Charvarius Ward. John Snellings gets the final word here. When will Watson make his decision? Hopefully by the time you watch this, he's made his decision. But hopefully soon. Hopefully very, very soon so more dominoes can fall in NFL free agency. Biggest NFL free agency winner up to this point, and maybe whoever gets Deshaun Watson ends up being just that. Let us know down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe, youtube.com/chatsportstv. All right, appreciate you guys for rocking and rolling with us on that mailbag. We're going to welcome back in Chase Sr. here as he's going to hop
taking
back
care of
on
a lot
here.
of 49ers stuff.
Hey, you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to rock, man.
So
just had to facilitate getting that George Odom cutout. So
we still got to do those challenges.
yes, we do.
Way.
I brought you a warmer claw
Cool.
if you want to beer bong that.
I'm good,
Beer bong
yeah.
is right here.
I might need someone to hold it up. I can't do it like Trace where he holds it and does it solo. I might need someone to facilitate that.
Wait, what do you need to do?
I'm not good at holding it and chugging. Trace just does it by himself.
Hold it.
Well,
Hold it.
I'm aware.
And there you go.
Clearly, yes, but maybe Jack can hold it up for me. So I owe a claw chug, and then you owe a shotgun.
I'm owing a shotgun.
So
yeah.
let's go to the split screen. I'll have Jack help me out here since I didn't get that SEC experience that
that Trace
that
got.
Trace did. I was more of I shotgunned someone.
Niner Gang, $250 in super chats.
That's good stuff.
Hey, another $50 shotgun, $100. We'll get somebody else to do the
everybody type Jack in the comments.
Jack.
He's produced all of our NFL free agency coverage. 5 days. Still got a little bit to go here.
Let's go.
He wanted to take on this challenge, and he's excelled in doing so. So
all right, here we go.
He's going to help me out here. Keep that puppy level. Chase, you let me know when you're ready.
I'm
we'll get after this.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Seahawks just cut Carlos Dunlap.
Cheers to the gang.
Here we go.
Here we go.
2, 1.
Bang, bang. Whew, that's cold.
The very end of it just wouldn't come, but
yikes.
Doing a claw on that it's a little different.
My goodness.
Got it done, though. Got it done. So here's what we're going to do. If there's any super chats to catch up on, we can do that.
Yeah, we could also probably cut Niners at this point.
Yeah, let's cut it, and then that way that cut is
exactly.
fresh on the
marinates a little bit.
You want to?
Can I just end stream here on my end? Okay. Cool. Okay. Hey, Niner fans. Appreciate all of you for tuning into the 49ers Report here as we broke down the George Odom signing right away. We're still going to be live on Rumble, rumble.com/49ers TV. We broke down the Ray McCloud signing, and whenever another signing happens. We have you covered here on the channel. Appreciate all of you for tuning in. Nicole and Harold Gillenwater, thank you for the super chats, as well as everybody else who sent in super chats. The true OGs, the true supporters of what we do. We're signing off here on the 49ers Report, Day 5, NFL Free Agency.